Tonight's Pacers playoff game is brought to you by Marsh Supermarket. At Marsh, we're going to make you smile. By Sprite, obey your thirst. By Southwest Airlines, fly Southwest, the low-fare airline. By AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And by Miller Lite. When you've got the great taste of an ice-cold Miller Lite, life is good.
After Tuesday night's trip to the woodshed, Indiana's fanatical faithful are eager to help return the favorite tonight. It's the Knicks and the Pacers here on TTV4. Let's go to the Southwest Airlines scoreboard and tell you about what happened last night in the Eastern Conference. Michael Jordan back to wearing number 23. He had 38. The Bulls beat the Magic 104-94. Later tonight, the Rockets and Sun in Phoenix. The Suns lead that series 1-0. Here's what's on tap, sponsored by Miller Genuine Draft. Game 4 will be Saturday at 2:30. Everybody in attendance gets a Marsh towel. It's at Market Square Arena. It'll be televised nationally. Coming up at halftime, Christy Lee will report on the tale of the tape between the mayors of these two cities and a big 2-on-2 game. And coming up at halftime, we'll feature the two legendary coaches involved in this game. All right. Halftime, that's later. Now, we're coming back with the game. Stay with us.
Rattle, rattle, thunder, clatter, boom, boom, boom. Don't worry, call the CarX man.
Call CarX now, and then call lots of other people free. Buy any lifetime guaranteed muffler at CarX now, and get your own personal calling card. Good for 60 minutes of free long-distance calls. Call from any phone, anytime, anywhere coast to coast. So if you need a new muffler, call CarX now.
Don't worry, call the CarX man.
Then call Aunt Helen later for free.
Miller Lite Ice. For the taste that goes all out when you're out.
Hey! Never made it to the bar! No! No, I found a waitress!
Miller Lite Ice. The night is young.
You know, a lot of people who work on their cars will only shop at AutoZone. They depend on us for the best quality parts and low prices every day. They come in, get what they need, and then get back to work. Because you see, they believe if you want the job done right, you do it yourself. Well, at AutoZone, we couldn't agree more. Because when you take the time and the effort to work on your car yourself, you ought to be choosy about where you shop. We just thank you for choosing AutoZone.
On an all-new Kung Fu.
These people need someone from outside the system.
When politicians target a neighborhood for destruction.
I'm gonna blow the roof off this place.
Guess who's heading for City Hall?
I will run. See to it that this Kwai Chang Kane loses.
Join the campaign with a kick.
I believe it is called your tax dollars at work.
On an all-new Kung Fu. Friday at 8 on TTV4.
Assisted by guard George Irvin and Billy King, with trainer David King, his assistant Will Stevening.
There's enough electricity in this arena tonight, Clark Kellogg, to light up my hometown of Sullivan, Indiana, man.
And we expected that, Frank. They are ready to go.
Let's get to the Pizza Hut starting lineups tonight for your Pacers and the Knicks. First off, for the front line lineup. For the Knicks tonight, Smith, Oakley, and Ewing. Patrick played well in game number 2. Smith has not been much of a factor. Harper's played sensationally throughout the playoffs against Indiana and for Cleveland. Against Cleveland. For the Indiana Pacers tonight, it's good to know that Rick Smith is out there and ready to go and maybe a little bit perturbed. Dale Davis has not played well in the playoffs, and Derek McKee has likewise not been up to his normal standards. Reggie Miller, we got to get a game out of Reg tonight, and Mark Jackson may have to shoot the ball a little more than he has, but he has been solid. He's not making a whole lot of mistakes. That's your starting lineup tonight for both the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks. And there is head coach Larry Brown. Of course, Larry now over the 500 marker, right at the 500 mark, and wins and losses as far as playoff victories are concerned. And there is four-time Indianapolis 500 winner, Anthony Joseph Floyd. A.J. will toss out the game ball tonight. He's, of course, no longer driving. Of course, that is also subject to change, but he will bring a team into town for the 500. Tonight's Miller Lite fourth quarter contestant is a fan named Russell Smock of Indy. Russell has picked the Pacer player to score the first basket in the fourth. If he is correct, we'll send him to the Pacers home court gift shop for a shopping spree. And later on, we'll tell you how you can become a contestant in the Miller Lite fourth quarter shootout. Here are the officials for tonight's basketball game. The best official in the league is here. That's Ed T. Rush. Bob Delaney and Dan Crawford will work alongside him. And that big round of applause is for A.J. Foyt, who tosses the ball out. You talk about legends, Clark Kellogg. There's one of them in racing right there.
Yes, sir. One of the finest and one of the most successful.
And he's turned into a great owner likewise. He has learned some of the nuances of running a team. He knows the equipment. He's always going to be a factor out of the Speedway. Well, more important things at hand. The Pacers and the New York Knicks. What do you look for, Clark?
Well, I think competition, intensity, and effort, the keys for the Pacers tonight, Babe. If they don't bring more juice and energy from start to finish, they don't have a chance despite the fact they're at home. They've got to play with great intensity. Also, McKee must be a factor early and often. The bench must play better, and the backcourt guys, Jackson and Miller, have to have very strong games tonight.
And right away, the first foul of the ball game goes on Dale Davis. Reggie really got nailed out high. This is after that happens. And here is Charles Smith at the free throw line. Smith, a 79% shooter on the year on the free throw stripe for the New York Knicks.
In Tuesday's game, the Knicks won the free throw game. They made 28 of 40, while the Pacers made only 23 of 33. And always, you've heard me say that before, one of the games within the game is the free throw game.
And he missed them both. Smith comes into this playoff series shooting only 50% from the free throw stripe, and that will not get it done. Now the Pacers got the basketball for the first time. Well, that Smith-Miller matchup. Here is Rick. He got bumped by Ewing, got it back, takes the shot, missed it badly, knocked out of bounds in the last touch by Harper. Shot did not hit the rim, so the shot clock did not reset. It's at 8.
That's not a bad sign, though. That means adrenaline is flowing.
I agree.
And
totally.
there wasn't enough of that in New York on Tuesday.
I can guarantee you the practice session the club had yesterday, when there wasn't a lot of physical activity, Reggie goes inside and goes backdoor. There was a lot of film watching yesterday, and I would imagine a kind of a reassessment of the situation as far as the Pacers' attitudes are concerned. Here's the foul called on Mark Jackson. And even that's not a bad sign, Clark, because Mark's right up on him and playing tough D.
Exactly. Harper got to the bucket twice early in that game. As we take a look at Reggie getting inside of Starks, the help is not there, and Reggie gets the first deuce tonight.
So the Pacers out in front, 2-0. That's the first bucket of the ball game, of course, for either ball club. Harper will have Jackson in his hip pocket, I would imagine, throughout this game. Here's a foul again. And they will get Derek McKee.
No need to crowd Smith out there. Derek has good enough quickness and range to back off and still be able to challenge his shot.
Larry's got to be a little concerned about the play of Derek McKee and Dale Davis. They have not shown the numbers we have come to expect from them. Here's Starks for three, and he got it.
Well, I thought Dale was the most positive player on Tuesday, Babe. He had 9 boards. He also had 13 points and made 5 of 6 free throws in 37 minutes. So I thought his effort was pretty good Tuesday.
There he is right there.
Right on cue, D-square.
Pacers go back in front by a 4-3 count with 10.5 minutes to go in the first period of this game.
If Dale can do that, he can really give Oakley something to think about at the offensive end.
Harper made a nice move. Ewing got the baseline pass and knocked it home. Patrick Ewing. First 2 points of the ball game for Ewing. He has been in double digits in both games, but not dominant. 11 points in game 1 and 15 in game number 2.
Well, he got 9 of those 15 in the third quarter on Tuesday and has only played 28 minutes a game because of foul trouble.
Down the lane goes Jackson. He got hammered and got the roll. Mark Jackson knows no fear. He will go in where Angels fear to tread. And that time it turned into 2 points for Indiana, and already the 4th lead change of the game. 6-5, 9:52 to play here in the first quarter. Here is Starks pulling it back out long range. Oakley will fire from outside and miss, and U.S. Smith almost uncontested for the rebound.
Well, if you're the Knicks, obviously you know the Pacers will bring tremendous energy and adrenaline at the start. Will they maintain it? That's the key for the Pacers. But the Knicks, on the other hand, just want to weather the storm and maintain contact.
Look, they're kind of like we were in game number 2 the other night, because you and I commented if we can weather the storm. Well, we did weather the storm, but then the flood caught us.
Yeah, exactly.
Second offensive rebound.
And it was a self-induced flood from the standpoint of the Pacers getting on their heels and never fighting back.
Fouls on Patrick Ewing. That's one on Patrick. The crowd is going to literally explode on every call tonight. I mean, they are really into this ball game. A number of celebrities are here tonight. A lot of folks from the Speedway are here. You saw A.J. Foyt, and a lot of guys are here. Joe Montana, the former quarterback of Kansas City and San Francisco, now a part owner of one of the racing teams. The Ganassi team is also here tonight, so we'll, from time to time, show you some of those guys. Here's Reggie, spin move inside, lost it, loose ball picked up by Derek Harper.
Reggie has yet to get a shot, was trying to be aggressive there. I think he needs to really look at the goal.
Harper missing from outside, and Rick going inside, had it knocked free, and last touch by Oakley. The trouble with, if you read about it or heard about it, was back spasms for Rick. And actually, when I talked to the coaching staff, they said he wanted a day off. That happens once in a while.
On occasion, this late in the year. I don't think the Knicks practiced yesterday while the Pacers went through that 2-hour film session plus 2 hours of other work on the court. So they had a lot of work to do yesterday.
They put in a pretty good work day, 4+ hours. Oakley thought about it, didn't let it go. Missed it, and the rebound comes up inside to Reggie Miller. 8:35, first quarter. Pacers down 7-6. Reggie missing. Dale Davis going back up, missing. Tipped it up again, missed it, tipped it again, and got it.
See, that's why Reggie has to be aggressive, Bate. Not only does he put pressure on Starks, but it allows other guys to get to the offensive glass, even if he isn't successful on his look. See, the other night, he never really looked at the goal.
No, he did not. And here's a foul on Rick Smith. Crowd does not buy it, but Rick will get personal foul number 1. Here is Reggie at the other end, and watch what Dale Davis does to it.
Well, here you take a look. Reggie may have gotten away with a walk. You saw Starks indicating that. Dale Davis, buffet style on the glass. That's 3 looks at it, and he finally got the last one.
Boy, Smith was way off the mark that time. 8 minutes to go. Here's Reggie forcing a wild shot. Rebound is chased down by Smith. Oakley gets it and then steps out of bounds. It'll be Pacer ball, and it is. Boy, I'm telling you, the intensity of both these clubs is at a much higher peak than it was in game number 2.
And it needs to be.
Yep.
Especially if you're cheering for the white and blue.
I think, Clark, the other day, and you pointed it out, I think both teams left some of the intensity in the locker room or at the practice session, but all the stuff that was written and said. Fouls on Oakley. That's number 1 on him, and the 3rd against the ball club.
The Pacers have 4, so it looks like sometime in the next minute or two, both teams may get over the limit, and we'll be parading to the free throw line on common fouls before long.
Not totally unexpected. There's the foul story you see in the lower left of your screen. Jackson with plenty of time on the shot clock. Comes to Miller. Reggie cuts inside. Had the ball blocked away by Smith. Picked up by Harper. Flips it out to Starks. Starks goes right side to Oakley, who stuffs it. Oakley getting his first 2 points. Knicks go back on top 9-8. Well, Reggie and Starks having a real mayhem brawl down at the bottom of your screen to the left of your screen. Now they isolate deep right side. Reggie going inside on Starks. Beating, got the layup and got it. Good aggressive move by Rez. In the corner, Starks has 1 3. Nye has 2.
Tough for Reggie to get back after penetrating all the way to the goal. He has to do it, but needs some help. Both teams sucking a little air right now.
Yeah.
That first rush of adrenaline can also choke off your wind. And the TV timeout on the dead ball will be much appreciated both ways.
Here's Davis getting inside, dropping it off to Derek McKee, who missed it again. Well, Derek is just playing awful. Now he is down on the floor. He may be hurt. Knicks come back the other way. Here is Smith pulling up from outside. He will miss the shot. Oh, he hit the top of the board and fell inside. Smith gets the bucket. Knicks have their biggest lead at 4 points at 14-10. McKee is up. He is in the lower left of your screen. Now you see him walking across the free throw line area. He caught an elbow or something right in the mouth. That's what he reached for. Smith's wide open right side. Rick's first 2 in the ball game. New York was on a 5-0 run until Smith finally put a stop to that.
I tell you what, babe, if you go into that paint, you better bring brute force because they're not going to call much and you will get hit.
Arthur throws it out to Starks. If there ever is a dead ball, there will be a timeout. Here is Ewing. Ewing, fall away shot off the mark, rebounded by Smith. That's the 2nd rebound for Rick. Here is Jackson all the way. He is hammered. And I mean, he is hammered. Comes up and does his little shimmy shake, says he's all right in front of the Pacer bench. And we will finally get that timeout. Boy, wish you were here. This place is something else. 5:41 in the first quarter. Pacers down by a deuce with a chance to tie with Jackson going to the line.
Company sells snorkels. Is shocked by high shipping costs. Goes to post office. Finds parcel post as a smart solution. Doesn't cost much. Snorkels get delivered. Company keeps its head above water. Golf ball distributor gets urgent order. Customers in Kyoto. She's in L.A. Goes to post office. Finds Express Mail International as a smart solution. Doesn't cost much. Golf balls arrive. By tea time.
Dennis, you're just a little bit too tight, man. You need to loosen up. Oh, man. Be provocative. Don't be so conservative. Shake things up. Be shocking. Let your hair down.
Please, lay out the hair, okay?
Over the top, man. Be an individual.
So what do you want me to do?
Well, you can start by eating your pizza the wrong way. Crust first.
That's weird, man. That's too weird.
Introducing stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut. With a ring of cheese baked into a totally new, thinner crust, you'll want to eat it the wrong way. Crust first.
Just turn it around.
Well, Dave, you crazy, man. You crazy.
Large, just $9.99.
The signs are obvious at Revco, a drugstore that helps you save money with Revco brands, Revco rebates, and low, low prices throughout the store. And you can count on our complete pharmacy services, our prescription access link, patient advisory leaflet, and big pharmacy savings. Plus, we'll match any competitor's prescription price. Revco, formerly Hooks, we're proud to be your drugstore.
Pacers down by 2. Strap it in and strap it in real good, folks. This will be a war. Jackson on penetration in the open court. And there Starks. Looked like he was bumped into Jackson, but nonetheless, a little football block there. And Mark gets himself to the line, and thankfully he's okay. I mean, that could have been a dangerous play.
Charles Smith gets the first of the foul. Here's a reminder, don't miss hard-hitting action with David Carradine and Chris Potter in Kung Fu. The listen continues. Followed up by Jack Scalia in Point Man. That's tomorrow night at 8 right here on TTV4. There's John Starks so far in the ball game with a pair of threes for 6 points.
He's really played well in the first 2 games, Bake. He had 2 missed free throws that overshadowed a solid game in game 1. He's averaged 20 points a game. He's knocked down 5 3-point shots, has 2 already, has really controlled his emotions. See, that was the one problem with him. He could always fly off the handle emotionally, and showed me an awful lot in game 2 on Tuesday, because he really got up into Reggie, didn't let anything bother him, and had a very, very strong game.
You know what else impressed me, Clark? He said after the game, after Reggie's comment about choking, he said, no, the club didn't choke, I did.
Right.
And I don't, I suppose, I once heard somebody say, Clark, if you're an athlete and you've never choked, then you've never been in a position to choke. Because it's like that 4-foot putt.
Yeah.
I don't really think I choked, but it certainly is hard to swallow once in a while.
No, it certainly is.
Jackson's got them both. Ball game is tied up. That's the first tie of the night, as a matter of fact. We're locked at 14 with 5:41 to go in the first.
Both teams playing with an awful lot of intensity. So execution is always critical, and you have to be physical in the paint.
Long rebound taken by Oakley out to Starks. So rewind the clock again, and Harper's got it. The Pacers on a 4-0 run following a 5-0 run by New York. Oakley again.
Well, Dale Davis looking to help out on Jackson. That's why it's so important for Jackson to keep Harper contained by himself, because Oakley's an excellent spot-up shooter, and if Dale has to pinch, he won't be able to get out to Oakley for that spot-up J.
16-14 your score. The Knicks on in front by a deuce. That equals their biggest lead. Terrible pass by Jackson, and Jackson thought that Starks had knocked it free, but apparently not. Smith was wide open on the baseline, and I don't think Mark ever saw him. Second turnover of the game against Indiana. The Knicks have yet to turn the ball over. And, of course, you all know the story of the game on Tuesday when the Pacers turned it over, a club record, playoff record, 35 times.
Well, both teams were close to going over the limit at about the 7-minute mark, and we've gone almost 2.5, 3 minutes with both teams still at 14 times.
Smith, the crowd thought he walked. Official did not. Fouls on Davis. That's number 2 on Dale Davis. Sam Mitchell's seen a lot of playing time, and so has Antonio. He'll come in. There's a look at it again, Clark.
Good strong take here by Smith.
gets the step, lowers the shoulder, and draws the foul. Antonio Davis had 8.7 rebounds in game 2, but most of them came in the third quarter when the game was decided. He's only played 38 minutes, Bake, in both games. So he needs to keep his minutes at about 23, 24 per game, and has had foul trouble to keep him from getting to that number.
Antonio coming in and Dale going out. Charles Smith in all the playoff games, including the 4 against Cleveland, is averaging 11.5 points, shooting 53% from the floor. And as I mentioned, only 50% from the free throw line, just under 5 rebounds, and he has a total of 9 blocks. In fact, the Pacer ball club doesn't have a total of 9 blocks in this series against the New York Knicks. They have not been aggressive, I guess, defensively in that particular category. 4-point lead, New York. Reggie bangs it off the glass and got it.
See, he's just trying to will himself into being aggressive offensively, and I love it.
3 of 6 in the floor right now.
That's what I look for, about 6 shots a quarter. That's what I think he needs to look to get.
Loose ball picked up by Jackson. Miller goes down hard and is very slow getting up. Here's Rick. Offensive foul on Smith.
Oh, a tough break. I thought Ewing stepped in there. Let's see. I thought he stepped in and committed the foul here. That's Oakley. Well, Rick got the arm a little bit away from the body, boy, but that's really a tough call to go against Smith. But Oakley does that. He sacrifices his body and makes winning plays.
Greg Kite will come in. Ewing right inside and got the bucket. Patrick Ewing, second field goal, 4th point. Big lick. Knicks lead again at 4 at 20-16. And we'll get a 20-second timeout. That's probably as much as anything to get Rick out of there and get Kite in the lineup. Smith will go out with 1 out of 2 from the floor, a couple of rebounds. 2 points, of course. Dale Davis out with 4 points, 2 rebounds, hit 2 out of 3 from the field.
That's always something you're worried about with the big fella. Early foul trouble, and it happened on Tuesday.
Yep.
Only played 20 foul-plagued minutes, and he shot 61% from the floor against this team. But he needs the minutes, Bake. He needs to have his minutes around 32 to 36 to be most effective.
And we'll see if Indiana can withstand the situation that New York faced on Tuesday when they got their guys in foul trouble. Anthony Mason coming into the lineup now for the New York Knicks.
Derek McKee has a little cotton in his left nostril, the result of that blow he took earlier.
Kite has only played in 1 of the 2 games against the New York Knicks. Did not score. He played only 1 minute in that ball game, but he's in now early on in this contest. Here's Derek. Here's the jump hook. He got it.
He's got to be aggressive. He can get shots off against Mason, and he's got to look to score, especially now that Smith is off the floor.
Here's the foul inside. They got Kite right away.
Called him with the knee. You can bang bodies, but you can't use the lower extremities to keep a guy from posting up.
Greg is 6'11", 263 from BYU. He has bounced around the NBA, spent some time earlier this year in New York, played a couple of games with the Knicks. 12 years in the NBA. Here's Patrick Ewing.
You know, Mason came in the 6th man of the year at that last 20-second timeout, and he has been a major problem for the Pacers. In addition to playing with great intensity, good solid bench play, and the backcourt stepping up, I think how the Pacers deal with Mason goes a long way in determining the outcome, too. He took 12 free throws the other night. They've got to keep him off the line and out of the post.
Ewing with 5 points and 2 field goals and 1 out of 2 from the line, and Jackson throws it away. That's the 4th turnover against the club. Here's behind the back. Picked up and partially deflected, but it still goes in nonetheless for Anthony Mason. His first 2 points, and now the Knicks are up by 5, and that is their biggest lead of the game.
Bad play. Turnover leading to points for the Knicks. Tough to set your defense when you turn it over.
Now, this will not have any sympathy for you. If you turn it over, they'll try to do something with it the other end of the floor. Here's Reggie. Starts with a good job stopping him. Got inside and got it anyway. 8 points in the quarter for Reggie Miller, who was named All-NBA 13 today. In the corner, Starks looking for his third 2-3. He's got it. John Starks has 9. Yes, sir. He had 217 on the year, the first player in playoff in the NBA history with 200-plus threes, Clark, so that's nothing new out there. 6-point lead now for New York. They're on a 12-6 run. They had a 5-0 run. Indiana on a 4-zip run. Here's some body movement inside. And they will get 34. That's Oakley. That's the second on Oakley. And we will get a timeout. 2:17 here in the first quarter. Knicks have their biggest margin. They're up by half a dozen.
Now eating at McDonald's gets you the biggest break ever.
I won! Yes!
It's the Monopoly game, only at McDonald's. With over 50 million prizes, it's supersized excitement.
I want a Dodge Viper!
Shopping sprees, cruises, Sega Game Gear with Sonic Triple Trouble. Get a game piece on these favorites like a medium soft drink. Win big instantly, or collect a Monopoly and win. So go directly to McDonald's and eat, play, win. $1 million!
For all those who think decorating is either very difficult or very expensive, here's a word of advice. Now that wasn't so hard, was it? For more great ideas, pick up these free brochures, available now at Target.
If someone asked me what I like best about my Ford F-Series, I could tell them about the galvanized steel bed and how tough it is. Of course, I like the rugged suspension. It can handle almost any road and still deliver a smooth ride. I could go on and on about the safety of a driver's side airbag and security of rear anti-lock brakes. That's why around here, people drive Ford trucks. And the Ford F-150's been America's bestseller for 18 straight years.
Your Indiana Ford dealers are one.
Back at MSA, a reminder that now's the time to reserve your seats for the 95-96 Indiana Pacers season. A $250 deposit will hold your seat for next year at MSA. Get the best seats for the season and the playoffs. 263-2100. Call them for all the info. There's a game seat ticket. Boy, those were gone for something around the town tonight. Let's take a look at a couple of replays for you. Reggie Miller so far with 8 points.
Good aggressive move here. And he's done a lot of damage going to the basket. As a matter of fact, I think all of his hoops are in the paint area, Bake. John Starks has answered on a couple of occasions, make it 3 occasions, with triples. The Knicks have assisted on 9 of their 10 field goals to start this game, Bake.
That's impressive.
It's very impressive. Anytime you can get an assist to field goal ratio up in that neighborhood of 0.75 moving towards 1-to-1, that is tremendous.
Antonio Davis at the free throw stripe for Indiana with 2. Indiana's 2 out of 2 from the line, now 3 out of 3. Starks, by the way, is shooting sensationally from three-point land as Larry Brown looks on. Starks coming into tonight's game was 16 of 40 from three-point land in the 6 playoff games in which the Knicks have been involved. 16 out of 40, 40%. Antonio has them both.
Well, I tell you what, this has been an impressive first quarter by the Knicks, Bake. The Pacers have brought more energy and more focus, and yet the Knicks, with solid shooting, especially from Starks, have still been able to stay on top here.
Oakley is out of the ball game with 4 points, a couple of rebounds, and 2 personal fouls. Shot clock is down to 5. They've got Smith outside. He will pull up and take the shot that's off the mark, and Reds has got the rebound. That's his 3rd already, and the Pacer deficit is at 4. They have led on a couple of occasions, but never by more than 2. Reds from long range. Stark pointed out all of his buckets and come from inside. Here's McKee. Derek drops it to Kite. Kite drops it. And we'll have a held ball, I assume. Yeah. So, yeah, this is a tough situation for Kite because he hasn't played much this year. In fact, in the regular season, only played 9 games in the ball club, averaged less than a point a game, and yet here it is the first quarter of Game 3 of the playoffs, and they put him in there.
And they're not looking for any offense from him. They want him to bang Patrick, hold his position, set screens, and just give the Pacers some time to where they don't have to put Antonio Davis on him.
That's exactly right.
Get him in foul trouble or possible foul trouble.
Greg Anthony in the lineup now for New York. You see Haywood Workman playing defense on him. Haywood's first appearance of the night. Starks again. Got it again. Starks now with 4 threes in the quarter. He has 12 points, and it's a 7-point New York lead.
He can do that to you. Very streaky, but he's had, again, a solid first 2 games in this series. The key for the Pacers is just not to get away from what they're doing.
New York has 9 points now off of 5 New York turnovers. A 3-second violation on McKee.
See, things are starting to go a little bit against the Pacers now. They have to maintain their poise, keep their focus, and just continue to fight and battle.
6 turnovers for Indiana. Starks is shooting sensationally. 4 out of 5 from the floor. There's the turn-off story. Here's Starks again. Not this time. Rebound knocked on the floor. Mason had it for a moment. And Kite comes out of there with it. There's McKee. 35 seconds to go, first quarter.
Boy, try to get 2 for 1 here. Pacers too casual.
Antonio with Smith on him. Will turn and fire and miss it badly. Reggie's got the rebound. Put it back up and score. I don't know how Reg got in there, but he did. He's 5 for 8 now from the field in his first period.
Has not made a jump shot. Everything has been in the paint.
He also, Clark, has 4 rebounds, and Reggie over the year averaged 2.6, so he's been aggressive at both ends of the floor. 5-point lead by New York. They'll play for the final shot of the period. Down to 6 seconds to go. Kite got bumped by Ewing. He missed the shot. Kite's got the rebound. They got to hurry. They won't get the shot away. Tough first quarter. The Knicks played well. After one, it matters at Market Square Arena as the Pacers and the Knicks tangle here. It is New York out in front by 5, 29-24.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today. This is dull. Doesn't have to be.
And now the starting lineup. That groom from Texas, Billy Clyde Humphrey. And at Bride, a 5'6" debutante from Alabama, Nell Peterson. The Humphrey wedding brought to you by Miller Lite. When you've got the great taste of an ice cold Miller Lite, life is good. The vows are up.
I do.
And they're good. Whoa, Nelly.
That was beautiful, man.
During the Dodge National Best Buy sale, just equip Dodge Neon with extras like these. Not only will you be saying hi to Consumers Digest 95 Best Buy, you could also say hello to up to $1,200 off, including up to $600 cash savings to use towards your down payment, or select 4.9% financing instead of the cash savings. The Dodge National Best Buy sale. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Yeah, life's competitive, all right. Win or lose, doesn't matter. It's how you look at the finish line.
Get there first.
Lewis said some older boys took him to the hoop. So I took him to the finish line.
Get there first.
You're watching the Indiana Pacers on TTV4.
Reggie Miller goes for 10 points in the first quarter on 5 of 8 shooting from the floor for the only Pacer in double digits with 10. The New York Knicks with John Starks going crazy from outside on 4 of 6 in the field, 4 out of 5 from the three-point area. And the Knicks have a lead after Starks hit 12 points of 29-24. There's the king, A.J. Foyt, enjoying himself here at the game tonight. He'll be back at the Speedway on Saturday, of course, trying to get his team qualified. Here's that Miller-Starks matchup so far. Good first quarter for both these guys.
Exactly. I like Reggie's aggressiveness. Starks was up to the task, knocking down 4 three-pointers. And Reggie very aggressive driving to the goal. So that matchup is a wash at this point. But John Starks, very solid again here in the first quarter.
Reggie had 8 of the 18 field goal attempts for the ball club, so he took 44% on Clark, and he also had 4 of the 11 rebounds, 36% there.
Very aggressive, and I like that. And I think Reggie has to be that. If you're going to step front and center by way of what you say and also by way of what you produce, then you've got to expect that you're the guy. I mean, right. You're there. Part of leadership is accepting the responsibility of leading. And that means sometimes putting yourself in a position to be a scapegoat. To be the one that gets the heat. And then you've got to rise up and meet the challenge and then let the chips fall where they will.
I don't think Reggie's come out of the game yet.
No, he hasn't.
That's a little unusual because normally Larry will give him a little bit of a blow. Oh, he looks inside and stops it. Normally Reggie will get a little blow in the last couple of minutes of the first quarter into the second quarter. But not tonight.
Well, he's going to probably get a blow, but I tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to wave off a blow for a while.
I don't think he wants to go anywhere near that bench right now. Pacers have chopped the lead to 3. Deep in the corner, the 3 is off the mark, and the rebound taken down long range by Anthony Mason. Good position that time as McKee was nowhere to be found. Now Derek's got the loose ball. Pacers with numbers on the break. Here comes Haywood. Off to McKee. Lost it. Foul call. Should be on Charles Smith. We'll take a look at Reggie Miller again. He's really going after it offensively.
When have we seen Reggie drive and dunk, Bank? You talk about focus and intensity. Send it home. Peter Vester's labeled him Indiana Bone. To the right, Reggie. That's kind of a neat name.
I love it. Indiana Bones, you betcha. There's Reg right now. They list him at 6'7", 185.
That's at the start of the season.
That's right.
By the time he gets beat up and knocked around, he's about 6'7", 180, as I just got the eye contact and head nod from former teammate and good friend Herb Williams.
Herbie coming into the lineup. Ewing is going out. Patrick with 5 points on 2 of 5 on the floor and only 1 rebound. Sam Mitchell comes in to replace Kite. Greg did a pretty good job, Clark, under some really adverse conditions.
Threw his body around. Now, this is a more favorable matchup for Larry Brown and his club. Herb Williams can score, but they don't look to him to score a lot. Antonio will match up with him. Derek McKee will play Smith, and then Sam Mitchell, who gives up some weight to Mason, will match up with him.
Here's Smith, got underneath, got the reverse layup, did a great job of just catching the pass. And Smith now with 8 points. Smith's not been a major factor scoring-wise in the first 2 games. Total of 16 points, 12 in the first game, and then 4 in the second game on Tuesday. The ball was kicked away, and Workman may have had his hand kicked in the process. And rewind the 24-second clock. Indiana was on a 6-0 run prior to that bucket by Charles Smith.
Remember now, we talked about one of the key elements as you look at the shooting numbers. Both teams shooting extremely well. Bench play. And right now we've got benches on the floor both ways.
Foul is on Herb Williams. Reggie Miller got the ball inside to Antonio. And Davis went hard to the hoop.
Come strong or don't come at all. AD right to the rim and forced Herb Williams to go through his body. See, he got his body on Herb and then went right at him. That's how you draw fouls. You can't back away from contact. You have to take it to the defender's face.
Antonio Davis with 3 points tonight. Antonio averaging just under 5 points a game in the playoffs. Shooting a very impressive 56% from the floor in the 3 games against Atlanta, then the 2 against the Knicks, and 75% from the free throw line. Just the second one. Rebound comes off the sand. So the Pacers get a chance now to turn something into a 3 here by Reggie. Off the mark, rebounded by Anthony. Miller had a pretty good look at it. 31-29, New York. That was the first 3 attempt of the game by Indiana. Here's Williams, lost it out of bounds to New York.
Herb Williams played a solid 17 minutes the other night with Ewing in foul trouble. Scored 4 points, had a couple of boards. Here you see, boy, that ball may have gone off of Herb Williams' leg.
Now Reggie will come out of the lineup with 10:14 to play and gets a great round of applause from the fans here. 12 points. And here comes Byron Scott. Boy, if you talk about a guy who was due, it is Byron. He has really struggled against the Knicks. Here's the ball knocked free by Antonio. Reggie comes out with 4 boards and 6 out of 10 from the field and 12 points.
And more than the numbers themselves, it's the way in which he did it.
I agree.
Going to the hole, strong, aggressive, taking charge, and that's what he has to do throughout the game.
Here's the scoring run so far. Last 3+ minutes. Knicks missing. Ball knocked free. Antonio and Mitchell collide. So the Knicks get a second opportunity here. Inside 10 minutes now in the second quarter. Hubert Davis is in the lineup for New York. And the foul is on Sam Mitchell. That's number 1 against Mitchell, and we will get a timeout. 9 minutes and 50 seconds of playing time remain in the first half of this ball game. Game 3 from MSA.
Unlike this dinosaur, if you can scratch new Double Up from the Hoosier Lottery, you can win $4,000 instantly. Play new Double Up and new Winner Take All from the Hoosier Lottery.
Yeah. I give a pound to my man with my right hand because I keep the Sprite in the left hand. Okay. And then I push the button when I don't want to hear nothing. I let it go when I want to hear something. Yeah. This is how we flow when we in the studio. Freestyle with Sprite. Yo, how the rest go. First things first, a big yo thirsty.
Play the under the cap game, and you have a 1 in 6 chance of winning another Sprite. You can also win cool NBA stuff. Not too useful if you're thirsty. Handy if you plan on leaving the house.
Call a Bryant dealer to the rescue and get Bryant's quiet 2-speed plus air conditioner. Its lower speed can lower cooling bills up to 60%. Call Bryant to the rescue. 1-800-468-7253.
Sold-out crowd at Market Square Arena, 31-29 New York, and everybody coming to Saturday's game number 4 is going to get a Pacers terry cloth playoff towel courtesy of Marsh Supermarkets. By the way, tickets for Saturday's game are marked D. D as in delightful. Game time 2:30, Market Square Arena. A lot of celebrities on hand tonight, as we have mentioned, Clark, to show J.J. Foyt. There are other racing celebrities who have made their appearance here, and there's Mayor Stephen Goldsmith. And he and his son they're going to talk at halftime with Kevin about a special challenge they have with Mayor Giuliani of New York. A little 2-on-2 game. We'll see how that shakes out. Danny Sullivan is sitting in that same vicinity. And there, the race driver won the 500 a few years back. That spin and win. Here's Davis off the mark. Kept alive by Williams. Finally is taken down inside by Derek McKee. Pacers winning the rebounding battle, Clark, 14-9 right now.
Well, it's about even after that exchange because the Knicks got a couple of second shots at it.
Sam Mitchell. Sam with an air ball. Didn't touch anything, so they don't rewind the clock. Here's Workman. He got hit by Anthony and fouled. And that's a break for Indiana. Because that was another offensive display that didn't work very well.
Really was. Mitchell just overshoots this one. Again, the adrenaline flowing. AD, right place, right time. And then that's the 4th team foul on the Knicks as Anthony collided into Haywood.
And a hand check foul on Herb Williams.
Mark it down, folks. 9:10 to go in the second quarter. The Pacers have 1 team foul. The Knicks have 5. So the strategy here is obviously you must maximize this situation. Play good D without fouling, and offensively, you've got to try to throw the ball inside and force the Knicks to foul you or give you high percentage shots if they don't want to foul.
Antonio Davis has all of his points in the free throw line tonight. That would be 4 out of 5 in the line. Mark Jackson coming back into the lineup. Mark with the field goal and 2 out of 2 from the free throws try for the opening period. Reggie Miller is on the bench getting a brief rest. He went the entire first quarter. Antonio got them both.
Good job. I talked about what the free throw situation does for you, but if you don't make them, it's all for naught.
Exactly.
You got to make them.
Indiana's on a 9-2 run, and they have tied the ball game at 31. Only the second tie tonight. Great defense, and the Knicks almost throw it away. Smith, a great save, gets inside on Antonio, runs over his man, gets the offensive foul. Charles Smith with 3.
Pacers doing a little chopping here. Smith gets the lane. Great help by Derek McKee. That was a simple call to make, and the right one.
He will come out, and Oakley will come in. Smith has been plagued by foul trouble in almost every game against Indiana, not just in the playoffs start, but during the regular season, too.
And it's not just Indiana.
Other teams also, huh?
Typically, he ends up in early foul trouble. A lot of times, defensively, he has to match up with a much quicker player. And that creates foul situations for him.
Derek wide open, top of the circle, can't bury it. Foul called. It'll be against Indiana, and they will get Byron Scott. And that's the first on Byron Scott. But keep in mind that Oakley, who came in for Smith, already has 2 personal fouls, so we'll see how that might shake out. Oakley with 2, Herb Williams with 2, and Charles Smith with 3.
Herb Williams and Anthony. Actually, Herb Williams just went out. Patrick Ewing back in.
Well, that presents a matchup problem for Indiana. Oh, what a great move to the hoop that time by Greg Anthony. almost uncontested. There have been too many, though, of those, Clark, in this series where a New York guard just finds an open alley and almost goes in uncontested.
Well, Jackson has a tough time with the quickness of both Anthony and Harper.
Boy, Byron Scott's shooting is horrible against New York. Scott is now 1 for 9, under 12% from the field in the 3-game series. Ewing, nice play by Antonio, and a good play by Sam to pick it up in the baseline. Pacers down by a deuce. Mitchell inside to McKee.
Great basketball there. Defense leading to a transition opportunity, and then the great interior pass, Mitchell to McKee.
You saw John Starks at the top of your screen. He'll be back in at the next dead ball. 7:35 to go in the first half. And a steal by Byron Scott. Here is Jackson. Offensive foul on Jackson.
Oh, my.
Oh, that is.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad. I never like to criticize the guys with the whistles. And this is a very, very good crew. Let's look at the replay. I thought Anthony just, okay, good call. I think he was there, babe. He was there. Good call. It looked like he had jumped in, but I think he was just protecting himself. My bad, Bob Delaney. Good whistle.
Tie-ball game of 33 with 7:19 to play, so that negates a good defensive play by Byron Scott, who just got hit with his second personal foul. And the third against the ball club with 7:15 remaining in this first half. This crowd is really into this ball game. They're cutting no slack for anybody tonight.
Well, you love that as a Pacers fan,
yeah.
and obviously it's a big pickup for them as a team. But the Knicks, 26-15 on the road for the season, I don't think it will really affect them too much.
They're used to the New York crowd that gets on them as bad as the visiting crowds when they don't play well. Nice ball movement. Starks for 3. That is the 5th 3 of the game for John Starks, and accounts for all of his points. 36-33 New York, 6:43 first half. 5 of 6 from the field from the three-point area for John Starks tonight. The ball club is 5 of 7 overall. Antonio Davis, yes.
Boy, he's having a solid game off the bench. Focused and aggressive as well. Pacers haven't been able to really take advantage of the foul situation yet. They got the penalty at 9:15.
Oakley from outside. He will knock it down. Charles Oakley, as Clark pointed out, can shoot the ball from long range. Not a 3 threat, but he can hit from outside. He's 3 out of 5 from the field tonight. Half a dozen points.
Excellent standstill shooter. Range out to about 20 feet.
3-point New York lead, 38-35, halfway through this second quarter. And a foul on Starks, I would guess. They collided. He and Scott did, and it will be on John Starks, and that'll be the first of the night on John. Here's the collision coming right.
Yep, there it is.
Here. We've got the timeout, so we'll do the same.
When you're flying the low-fare airline, you're flying with Southwest. You gotta fly out to see the honey, or maybe close a big business deal. But you don't wanna spend so much money that you can't afford your next meal. We will fly you right to your city. You'll be laughing all the way there. There'll be money left in the kitty, cause you paid the lowest fare. We're not a low-fare airline, we're the low-fare airline. Little work, big difference. Ba-ba-da.
Don't wait any longer. The sale of America's #1 selling minivans is now being extended. Get 4.9% financing or $1,000 cash back on Plymouth Voyager, Grand Voyager, and Chrysler Town & Country. Chrysler minivan owners get even more cash back. Add option packages and save up to $2,600. So don't miss this, the Chrysler Plymouth National Minivan Sale. Only at the minivan store at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
They say that man cannot live on bread alone. Fortunately, at Discover Card, we couldn't agree more. That's why we offer the Cashback Bonus Award. Each year, you'll receive money back based on your annual level of purchases. The more you use your card, the more you'll get back. And with over $500 million given out already, you're sure to get your fill. It pays to Discover, the card that pays you back. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
Time for the McDonald's chalkboard, folks. We're going to show you an example of good ball movement. Penetration. Now see, Oakley makes the extra pass. Right out here to start. And then because there were so many defenders in the paint, that allowed Starks to get the wide open look.
Three-point shooting so far this ball game has been a major factor, and that guy's the real reason why. Starks 5 out of 6 from the floor. The record for one half is 6. Reggie co-holds that record, so we'll see if Starks gets that. Byron Scott at the free throw line is 11 of 23 in the playoffs. 5 of 5 in the playoff series against New York. And he has really struggled from the field, very un-Byron Scott-like.
Yeah, he has struggled, and they need him to knock down perimeter shots.
Scott on the year shot 85% from the free throw line, averaged 10 points a game in the 80 regular season games in which he was a participant for the Indiana Pacers. And I know they were expecting more off of the bench out of him. And Clark, you pointed out New York the other night, the Pacer bench has not done its job as we had anticipated they would.
Exactly, but Antonio Davis tonight doing a solid job. Sam Mitchell has maybe been the most solid producer off the bench based on what you expect from him.
Dale Davis back in the Pacer lineup now. Sam will stay out there and really play tough defense on Mason. Here's Harper also back in the lineup, and Ewing, of course, being guarded by Antonio Davis, will try to take him to school. Good ball movement. Harper can shoot the three on you. Shot clock is down to 5 seconds. Harper's going to have to put one up. He throws it to Ewing. Ewing finally forces one outside and misses, and the long rebound taken off by Mark Jackson. So good D by Indiana. Down by 1. Pacers haven't led in a long time. Down by as many as 7 points here in the second quarter. Sam stops, pumps, got his man in the air, misses the shot horribly, and the loose ball comes off to Derek Harper. Sam has put up a couple of shots that haven't even been close.
Well, I think he's just pumped up. I mean, both shots have been long, so that's typically a sign of just being overwired.
Reggie is still on the bench. Here's the foul on Scott. And that is 3 on Byron Scott. Haywood Workman will come back in, and here will come Reggie Miller alongside him. That means the guard tandem for Indiana. Byron Scott will come out with 2 points. Mark Jackson comes out with 4, and they were all scored in the first quarter. 4th team fouled against Indiana, so with just under 5 minutes to go, we're in the bonus situation for both ball clubs from now on out.
That's amazing. At one point, the Pacers had 1 team foul, and the Knicks had 5.
Starks got Reggie leaning the other way and knocked it home.
He's in a great rhythm, Bate.
17 points already. He is 6 for 8 from the floor, and 5 of those have been three-pointers. The Knicks lead is at 3. And the clock shows 4.5 minutes to go on the first half. Here's Davis.
Boy, he wants to face. See, he can't. I don't think he can score backing up against Ewing.
Reggie saw the shot clock running down and got it. Good presence of mind by Miller. He had a great look at the 24-second clock, which was going from 2 to 1 when he let it fly.
But it looks like Larry Brown's going to elect not to bring Smith back and go with this group, and then just try to get the big fella ready for the second half.
Harper for a 3. He knocks it home. Derek Harper had 106 over the regular season. He had his first basket of the ball game tonight, but it is the 6th three-pointer by New York. They are 6 for 9.
Coming in, they had made 11 more three-pointers than the Pacers in the first 2 games. 16 of 41 they were coming into tonight's game.
Sam Mitchell, offensive foul. Well, Sam is playing out of control right now, and it's hurting the ball club. 2 fouls on Sam and 2 air balls and 2 field goal attempts.
Well, tries to squeeze a little more out of this. See, he had a jump shot right at the elbow. Tried to get inside and draw the foul. No luck.
Pacer bench is outscoring New York thanks to a great performance by Antonio Davis. Here's the foul on Haywood Workman, number 1 on him. 9-4 is the bench scoring in favor of Indiana, and AD has 7 of the 9.
Boy, the foul situation has really turned around. That time Haywood with the reach in, and now the Knicks shooting.
It's a lot like the other night, Clark, when we thought we went to halftime. Boy, the Pacers were in good shape here with this foul situation.
Well, the Knicks are a very smart, tough team, and they can defend without fouling.
Harper's numbers have been impressive over the first couple of games. 10 and 24 assists, 5 and 8. He has 6 assists already in the first half of this game. You can see he has 6 of 11 from the three-point zone. A veteran, Derek Harper, in his 12th year from the University of Illinois.
Yeah, he's been rock solid. Had a tremendous playoff stretch last year, especially in the finals. Had the Knicks won that, he probably would have been MVP by virtue of his performance in that 7-game series against Houston.
5-point New York lead, 44-39, a typical low-scoring game, and they got Reggie. He and Starks going at it, and they got Reggie. That's number 1 on Miller.
Watch out now, Bate. Things are slowly starting to unravel a little bit. Let's take a look. Reggie fighting. See, he just tries to throw him out of there. You got to work your feet and get in front, and then just hold them off. Can't throw him out of the way with your arm.
A little over 3 minutes to play in the first half, and Rick Smits has been missing in action since picking up that second foul about midway through the first quarter of this game. Starks wants it again. Starks has got it again.
They're spreading them out now, babe.
That's 20 points for Starks. Most of those have been almost uncontested. This one,
well, again, they're spreading them out, and they've got such good spacing that if you're rotating out of double teams, it's just difficult to get to the shooters.
Here's McKee, fall-away shot, nothing doing. Rebound taken off inside by Charles Oakley for his 3rd rebound. The Knicks have their biggest lead today, and they throw it away at the other end. We will get a timeout. Pat Riley will take it. There are 2.5 minutes, 2:32 to play here in the first half of this ballgame in front of a sellout crowd at Market Square Arena. Reggie still upset about that foul call. We'll go to the bench.
I've got one chance a season to make this course look beautiful. You burn your lawn, your neighbors see it. I burn this, millions see it. You want to take chances? Go ahead. Me, I use Scott's.
Turf Builder has Scott's mistake-proof granules. They feed when the grass needs it. No over or underfeeding like you can get with ordinary fertilizers.
It's not like golf. You can't make it up on the next hole. You don't want to blow it? Use Scott's.
Mistake-proof granules. That's the Scott's difference.
See this? It's a bridge. Know who built it? Workers. Know what they ate? Good, hearty food. See these? They're the 2 new entrees at Shoney's. Slow-roasted pork and sirloin beef tips. See this price? It's low, starting at $4.99. See this generous helping of seasoned rice? It comes with a tender sirloin tips. See these vegetables? You get any 2 with a slow-roasted pork. 2 new entrees starting at $4.99 for a limited time. See this logo? It was done by artists. Know what they ate? The 2 new entrees at Shoney's.
You expect to find the latest medical care at Methodist Hospital. But Methodist is more than a hospital. We've built a new level of medical care. From the ground up. Serving all of central Indiana. Bringing virtually all the care you're likely to need within minutes of where you live and work. Down the road, you'll be glad you chose Methodist.
We are back at MSA with a reminder as the Pacers trail by their biggest deficit of 8 that your headquarters for Pacers wear. Well, let's go to these guys first. To the left of your screen is Danny Sullivan. And the other fellow to the right-hand side of your screen is Paul Tracy. And they're out running little race cars out there and really bumping and pushing. There they are, left and right. That's Tracy on the right and Danny on the left. Your headquarters for Pacers Wear is the Pacers Home Court Gift Shop. It's open weekdays 10 to 5 and during all the playoff games, of course. Plus, you can now visit the Home Court Gift Shop playoff location at the Greenwood Park Mall down on the south side. All mall hours, they are open. Located in Center Court and Greenwood Park Mall. It's your playoff and your other stuff there. Reggie Miller. Struggling a little bit over the last couple of minutes out of frustration as much as anything else.
Well, it hurts, too, the Pacers don't have Smits available.
Yep.
Because he gives the Knicks something else to think about and adjust to.
Rick played 8 minutes in the first quarter, and that's been it. Antonio posted inside. Oakley did a good job, and he missed the shot, but a foul is going to be called. The foul is going to be on Oakley. No, Ewing. 33, not 34. That's 2 on Patrick here.
Here you take a look. AD working inside, and there's the bump. Ewing didn't like it from that expression.
I would guess so, Clark. Antonio Davis has been a worker at the free throw line tonight. He is 6 for 7. 1 out of 2 from the field and 1 board. Pacers in the quarter shooting only 40% on 4 of 10 in New York, 54% on 7 of 13. Davis misses the second one. So the Pacers deficit is 47 to 4. The 47 to 40. It's the third board for Patrick Ewing. Heading toward 2 minutes now in the first half. Mason got inside and it's blocked. Picked up by Indiana. I'm not sure if Antonio or McKee will get it. It'll be Dale Davis instead who got it. I didn't even see Dale in the area. 3 by Woody. The first 3 of the game. And only the second attempt by Indiana from outside the arc. They're 1 for 2 from three-point land. And that gets the crowd right back in this thing. 47-43 with a minute and a half to go in the first half. New York with the lead. And a steal. McKee took it away from Harper. McKee inside. It is blocked, and Reggie will get it. Starks caught up, and Reggie managed to pick up the rebound.
Oh, what a
really
great play. Yeah, he did get casual. What a play by Starks. And Reggie Miller never gave up on it wisely.
That's the third block shot of the game for New York, and Pat Riley wants timeout. He wants to get this crowd out of this game. The Pacers came out of that last timeout and just exploded. They're down by 2.
Boy, does this feel good for Haywood Workman. The block by Dale Davis. Transition now. Miller patiently waiting. Ball will get to the top, then reverse. And you've heard me say it before, one of the best times to shoot the 3 is in transition. And there it goes.
Woody had only 35 of those all regular season long, but that was a monster one right there. Haywood Workman. And that was his first 3 in the playoffs, including the Atlanta series. Woody out of Oral Roberts in his 4th year. So after being down by 8, the Pacers have got it to within 2, and you see the turnovers and the points off. Shots off the mark, out of bounds, Indiana basketball, and Pat Riley, you saw his immediate reaction. He jumped to the end of the bench and wanted Herb Williams now. And quickly, Larry Brown will retaliate with Sam Mitchell. Sam will come in and Dale will come out. Dale Davis coming out of the lineup for Indiana with 4 points on 2 first-quarter field goals.
I think he also has 2 fouls, which is the reason that Larry Brown wants him out of there.
Ewing comes out with 5 points on 2 of 6 in the floor. He had 3 boards. Not an overly impressive first half by Patrick. McKee rebounds Sam Mitchell. Outside, Sam makes a terrible pass. It's stolen by Oakley. Oakley goes to Mason. Mason walked and got by with it and got the bucket. Another turnover by Indiana. Turns into 2 at the other end.
Boy, that was a costly one there because the Pacers had gotten the board and had a chance to get a good shot.
I thought maybe Sam had settled down a touch when he was taken out of the lineup. I don't think he ever saw Oakley anywhere in the area that time. Antonio Mitchell knocked away and off Sam's leg, out of bounds. Good play by Herb Williams.
He does that. He'll let the guy get by him, and with those long arms of his, he'll reach around and that time force the turnover.
11th turnover of the game for Indiana. And here comes Hubert Davis from the University of North Carolina back into the lineup for the Knicks. Oakley will take a leave. Byron Scott will come into the Pacer lineup. There's Byron. And Sam will come out of there. So Indiana goes small with Byron Scott, Haywood Workman, and Reggie Miller. We'll have Antonio Davis and Derek McKee to complete the 5 on the floor. Final seconds, first half of this ball game. Indiana with a nice run to come from 8 down to get back to within 2. Here's Harper. Haywood all over him. Knocked it free. Great defense by Haywood. Super defense by Haywood Workman. So at halftime, Larry Brown's got some rearranging to do, Clark. How does he feel right now?
so-so. They're only down 4. Work down 8. They've got to squeeze the orange better, Bake. They've given the Knicks a number of points off turnovers. They got to shut that off.
At halftime, the Pacers' deficit is 4, 49-45. Halftime show is coming up.
If you think decorating has to be difficult or expensive, here's a word of advice. Now that wasn't so hard, was it? For more great ideas, pick up these free brochures, available now at Target.
We found a better way to drive at Bill Estes Chevrolet in our new Blazer. Inside, I can keep all my equipment safe and secure, whether it's professional gear or personal belongings, or the important people in my life, Shelley and LJ.
I like the security of knowing that Bill Estes will take care of our Blazer with world-class service.
Bill, just put the balls by the door. Great service, huh? You want a better way to drive? Go see Bill Estes Chevrolet Geo.
Well, the battery's good, and starter's brand new, so I figure it's got to be the alternator, right? I go into the AutoZone, get a new one. Well, this guy says, well, let's check the old one first. No sense buying something you may not need. Well, turns out it's a voltage regulator. I tell you, I could have spent a lot of time swapping out parts till I got it right. But with AutoZone, piece of cake.
It's May and Indy. Lots of people. Fun. Parties. Yippee. And no money? Bummer. We're TTV4. We can help. Watch The Fresh Prince and Marry the Children. Cool shows. Win up to $1,000 plus Hoosier Lottery instant win tickets. Need good seats to the race? Buy them with the money you win. Need Pacers playoff tickets? Buy them with the money you win. See a pattern yet? Watch The Fresh Prince and Marry with Children. Win cash and Hoosier Lottery tickets. TTV4. Cool.
Wait till you see what's going to make you smile at Mars. With our quality, selection, and freshness, no matter who you are, Mars is going to put a smile on your face.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA.
The Pacers finish with a flourish here. We're at halftime in Market Square Arena, 49-45. Reggie Miller, a much better job getting to the hoop. He had 16 points in the first half, but too much John Stark. Boy, he's busted us for 20 points. The Knicks have done a great job of taking advantage of the double teams the Pacers have thrown at them. You know, there's another rivalry taking place in this series. Christy Lee is courtside with Indianapolis Mayor Steve Goldsmith to fill us in. Christy.
Thank you, Kevin. We are courtside with Mayor Stephen Goldsmith and his lovely daughter Olivia, who's more interested in watching the Frisbee dog than talking to us right now at this point. Goldsmith, Mr. Goldsmith, can you tell us a little bit about your favorite in this game, the Indiana Pacers?
Well, I think we need to turn it on. It's been a tough half to watch to keep waiting for the Pacers to pull away, and it didn't quite make it, so we'll keep rooting.
Okay, what about shutting down that John Starks guy?
Yeah, that's the best game I've seen him, best half I've seen him here, and we really have to do something about it. This is a big game for Indiana.
Very big game, and you were in New York recently, and you were talking to Mayor Rudolph Giuliani, Rudy as we probably call him, and you guys made an interesting bet.
Well, New York's been looking a little bit. Indianapolis is a city that works, and frankly, New York's talked about some of the things we've done here. So I went down and walked into one of his news conferences and challenged him to one-on-one. He said he wanted to bring our son, so we got a 2-on-2 now.
Okay, let's look at that matchup if we could real quickly. All right, you, Mr. Goldsmith, 5'10", out of Wabash College. Rudy Giuliani, a 6 foot from Manhattan College. Do you think you could take him one-on-one?
Hey, I'm a Hoosier. Hoosiers play basketball a lot better. We'll show that tonight and again in New York.
What about the boys in that?
Well, I don't know. I haven't scouted his son, so this is a serious issue. But, you know, frankly, Indiana's a small market compared to New York. It's tough for us to compete financially, and we're going to show them on the floor tonight, and I hope to do the same thing city to city.
Great. Thank you, Mayor Goldsmith. And Kevin, back to you.
Christy, you know, there's a lot of great matchups taking place in this series. Reggie versus Stark, Smith versus Ewing, Derek Harper versus Mark Jackson. But there's another matchup taking place on the sidelines between the coaches, Larry Brown and Pat Riley. Here's an up-close look. One of them has won over 750 NBA regular season games.
The other owns over
900 career victories. One has more playoff wins than any coach in NBA history. The other, just one losing season in over a quarter of a century. Together, they own 6 NBA titles, 1 college championship, and an Olympic gold medal. Pat Riley and Larry Brown. Hitch your wagon to either, and you're in for quite a ride.
It's like a Mercedes and a Rolls Royce. They're both great coaches. Obviously, you know, they've got outstanding records, and they have a little bit different styles, but both get the job done.
I think that all you've got to say is that you're dealing with probably 2 guys that are in the top 4 or 5 in this whole league, and therefore the world.
But despite their similar success, their styles and personalities are vastly different.
Larry is very focused in on letting players have a lot of input. Riley is more, it's going to be my way or no way at all.
Pat Riley's very intense, very serious all the time. Pays a great attention to detail. Larry's a little bit more easygoing, but he's also, you know, when we get into practice and game situation, he's very focused.
Yeah, that's basically the difference. Larry hangs around with the guys a lot, and Pat Riley separates his guys from the teammates. It's like coaches here, players here, and Larry doesn't do that.
Of course, all similarities aside, the goal is always the same.
My team beating this team, you know, beating his team. I don't think they ever get caught up in their selves being compared to the other guys as far as beating him, because they're not out there playing. I don't think any coach really gets caught up in, I'm going to beat this guy. It's more we going to beat this guy, or my team should beat this team.
Pacers trail by 4. Back with more from the arena. We're at halftime. Stay with us on TTV4.
Cold Pressure Miller Genuine Draft. The Cold Pressure. You know the beer, you know the taste. With Miller Genuine Draft, the world's a very cool place.
Rattle, rattle, thunder, clatter, boom, boom, boom. Don't worry, call the CarX man.
Call CarX now, and then call lots of other people free. Buy any lifetime guaranteed muffler at CarX now, and get your own personal calling card. Good for 60 minutes of free long-distance calls. Call from any phone, anytime, anywhere coast to coast. So if you need a new muffler, call CarX now.
Don't worry, call the CarX man.
Then call Aunt Helen later for free.
Here in the Outback, we know what's important in life. Food.
You don't mind, do you? No, mate. I don't.
If you feel the same way, get to Outback Steakhouse.
I got a bloomin' good recipe for onions.
In business, communication is key, but you're busy. Always on the move. Now you can stay in touch. Anywhere, anytime, with your own personal magic number. Stay in touch wherever with Follow Me. Utilize voice messaging to send and receive messages. And use your magic number for placing outbound calls. Put magic number to work for you. Call U.S. Signal at 1-800-428-MAGIC.
Experts believe there won't be another ice age for 200 million years. In the meantime, may we suggest a Trane air conditioner?
Buy a dependable Trane air conditioner or heat pump from Bassett Heat & Cool Plainfield and receive a 10-year parts and labor warranty absolutely free. Remember, it's hard to stop a Trane.
It has been a raucous first half at Market Square Arena. The Pacers very much in it, trailing by 4, 49-45. Let's check out the Southwest Airlines scoreboard. Tell you what happened last night between Chicago and Orlando. The Bulls beat them 104-94. That series is tied 1 game apiece. Game 3 Friday in Chicago. Later on tonight in the Western Conference semifinals, the Rockets and the Suns in Phoenix. The Suns lead that series 1-0. Here at the arena, we're down by 4. Third quarter is coming your way in a little bit. Stay with us on TTV4.
Team needs new jerseys. Person has to deliver them overnight. Goes to post office. Finds express mail as a smart solution. Guarantees delivery. Jerseys arrive on time. Person avoids getting them back. Person needs to send resume to New York. Wants to make a big impression. Goes to post office. Finds out priority mail is a smart solution. Resume gets noticed. Person gets job. Now, if you can only get a cab.
For hot grill out fun, we're the one. Come to our house for lunch today. Come to our house at Chris for great lunchtime taste. We're the place.
Come to our house for dinner tonight.
Come to our house at Chris. At Eskridge, we use the finest cuts of meat. We never settle for second best. For great taste every time. For the taste you trust, come to us. For the taste you can trust every time. Come to our house at Eskridge.
The signs are obvious at Revco. A drugstore you can trust for complete pharmacy services. A helpful pharmacist. Our personalized patient advisory leaflet. It comes with new prescriptions. Our prescription access link system. It conveniently links all Revco drugstores together and checks for possible drug interactions. Plus, we'll match any competitor's prescription price. Revco, formerly Hooks. We're proud to be your drugstore.
There's a lot of shoes in this wall. Better let me help you. After all, I'm always going to be waiting on you at the finish line.
Get there first.
Some people spend their lives just trying to get in the race. I just spent a few bucks because I started at the finish line.
Get there first.
Tonight's Game 3 of the NBA playoffs is brought to you in part by Target. Expect more, pay less. By Revco, formerly Hooks, we're proud to be your drugstore. By the U.S. Postal Service, we deliver smart solutions for you. And by the Discover Car, it pays to discover. Haywood Workman with a big three-pointer to spark a Pacer run at the end of the first half. Down by 4, 49-45. Let's rejoin Jerry and Clark standing by courtside, guys.
All right, Kevin, thank you very kindly. Larry Mago's our director tonight. Dee McDowell is producing. Clark and I working here at midcourt, into the locker room, down to the immediate. We got to get more Johns at Market Square.
Well, I hung out in the locker room.
Oh, that's smart.
There's never a crowd in there.
Well, Marv Albert and I were getting a little bit concerned about getting back to our positions. AutoZone stat sheet will show us something, I think, at the end of the first half, especially in the shooting story. Clark, that's not bad. It's when you get down to the threes where things get kind of out of hand.
Exactly.
Here.
The Knicks, by way of excellent ball movement, got a number of good looks at the three-point line. Starks was 6 of 7. There you see, shooting percentage about even. The Knicks get 5 more shots because of some turnover problems the Pacers had. And here you take a look at it. Rebounding, the Pacers +5. There's the discrepancy in the turnover numbers. 11 Pacer turnovers led to 15 Knicks points. The Knicks only had 6 turnovers. Look at that assist-to-field goal ratio. 16 assists on 19 field goals for the Knicks. That is outstanding, Bake. And Starks, as I said, 6 of 7 from home run territory, and one of those 6. He got pretty good looks. Again, the Knicks have made the extra pass. The Pacers have been a little slow out of their rotations, but the Knicks have done a fine job of finding the open shooter. And most of the time, it's been that guy there, John Starks.
He is 7 out of 9 from the field, 6 out of 7 in the three-point zone. Did not get to the free throw stripe. 20 points in the first half. Reggie Miller will lead the way for the Indiana Pacers. He had 8 out of 12, did not score from the three-point zone, 0 for 1 from there, and did not go to the line.
But I like this about his game, Bake. The number of shots he took, 12, and also the kinds of shots he took. Most of his stuff was going to the goal. Antonio Davis stepped in nicely off the bench for 8. The Knicks actually outscored by the Pacers bench 13-6.
And of course, Reggie also went to the rebounding boards pretty hard. He is the top board man with 5 for the Knicks. Charles Oakley and Patrick Ewing, each with 3, show the way. Clark, there's a stat here. I was just talking to Conrad Brenner of the Indianapolis News. The Pacers have now only 20 blocked shots in 5, well now 6 playoff games. I don't know that it's particularly significant, but it just seems like that maybe aggressive. Our defense is not as aggressive as it should be.
Well, on the season, the Pacers only averaged about 5, 6 blocks a game, so not that much of a difference. I think they're in good shape. The Knicks, I don't know if they can play any better
that's a good
than
point.
They did. They moved the ball. They knock down threes. The Pacers just have to stay with what they're doing and do a better job of not turning it over.
Program reminder, court's back in session and Ben's on the case. The good guys always went out on Matlock the Picture. Saturday night at 8 on TTV4's Prime Time Movie. I understand that our good friends at TTV4 will also be carrying Indiana and Purdue basketball and some Big Ten football this coming year. That's the farthest thing from Larry Brown's mind right now. And we'll see what happens to Rick. That was a significant factor, Clark. We should touch on that. Rick Smits in the first half played only 8 minutes, took 2 shots, hit 1 of the 2, and had 2 rebounds. He was in foul trouble. And I don't think, Clark, the back contributed to that situation. We will see. Patrick Ewing, on the other hand, went 21 minutes with 5 points and 3 boards and 2 out of 6. So neither of the centers for the ball clubs were major factors in the first half of the game. Jeff Yarbrough just showing me here. I really appreciate knowing this. 46 turnovers in the last 6 quarters. There's a stat I want to take home with me tonight.
They had 35 in the last game.
Pacers down by 4 to begin the second half. 49-45. McKee went right around Smith and then missed the shot. Rick stopped.
Well, the Pacers had an advantage on the glass. 19-14 at the half. And this added to that total there.
And had more offensive rebounds, 7-6, than New York had.
Let's see if the Pacers can do a better job of challenging open shooters.
Well, he didn't this time.
See, it's very tough for Antonio or Dale to go out and defend Oakley. He's not a guy that's going to put it on the floor, but they're not comfortable out of the paint guarding Oakley, so he's getting good looks when he does decide to look at the goal.
Inside, a terrible pass and a turnover by Indiana with a minute gone here in the second half. Crowd just getting settled down. Boy, it's a big crowd here tonight.
Yeah, they've been very vocal and very much into it. Couldn't ask for much more from them.
Oakley's only shooting 49% in the playoffs this year. They throw it away. Oakley did not play against Indiana in the first 2 games of the regular season. He was on the injured list with a dislocated toe in his right foot. Had it surgically repaired, wasn't activated until the 26th of February. And when he came back, he scored games of 11 and 12 and had 11 rebounds total in 2 games in regular season against the Pacers.
See, Derek has to look to attack Smith. And that's 5 turnovers for Jackson now. See, Smith has 3 fouls, and Derek McKee has to turn and face him and try to put some pressure on him when he catches the ball in the paint area.
The Knicks are playing well, and the Pacers are not. Here's a travel violation on Starks. If there is anything encouraging to come out of that statement that I just made, Clark, it is the fact that the series is tied at 1, because I'll be honest, I don't think we played particularly Pacer-style basketball in either of the 2 games.
You're right. Only in stretches and segments as you look at the turnover situation. Not consistently for the duration you need in a playoff game.
Smith and Ewing, hand-to-hand combat inside. Rick, fall-away shot won't go. He was really off balance and let it go. Almost lost it on his hip.
Well, I think he was just looking to try to draw some contact from Ewing.
Ewing inside around Rick, and he is fouled by Derek McKee.
Maybe a little bit of a hook by Ewing. Take a look. Watch the left arm, folks. There it is, see. Barely made contact, but he had it out there away from his body. But I think because it was straight out and not back in a chicken wing fashion.
They let it go, huh?
Yep.
Patrick Ewing, the first-round pick of the Knicks in '85, was the #1 player taken overall that year. He will get the first free throw. He was 6th in the league in scoring this year and 4th in rebounding average. His 2-game stat total against Indiana. You see them right there, 13 and 13.
Only 28 minutes a game, though, in those games because of foul trouble.
He's averaging 17 in the overall playoff series. Here's the official making some kind of a movement toward Charles Smith, and they're now checking his leg. I don't know if he's bleeding or what the story is.
Not much of anything.
I don't see anything either. But that's the problem they thought they had spotted, apparently not. Well, the Pacers are down by 6 now, having scored with 2 points on a Rick Smith dunk early on here in the third quarter. Reggie with the floater. 18 points down for Reggie Miller. He is doing his job tonight. 9 for 13 from the floor. It's already more shots than he took in that second game. I'll tell you, the Knicks are hitting it from everywhere right now. Oakley with 10.
Well, again, the dribble penetration makes that possible for Charles Oakley.
5 out of 7 from the floor for Oakley in this game. 3 minutes into the second half. Jackson with a pass that I guess was intended for Dale Davis. Underneath, all alone is Oakley. Larry may want a timeout. Oakley in the first 3 minutes has scored as many points in this quarter as he did in the entire first half. Going to get Haywood Workman in there, and I would imagine they're going to get Jackson out of there.
There was no timeout call. Everybody assuming there was going to be one. Jackson a little down, but he's got to keep his chin up. He made a couple of errant passes here to start the quarter, but he's got to continue to play.
That ties the biggest lead for the Knicks at 8, 57-49. Rick, shot blocked by Ewing and out of bounds. The Knicks touched it last. Nope, we got a technical foul on Smith. Technical foul on Rick. Thought he was fouled apparently on the shot and said something, and they smacked the tee on him. Our ball club is losing its cool a little bit here.
Yeah, they are. There you take a look. Well, I thought Ewing pretty much got the basketball there. Smith had something to say to Dan Crawford.
Now, they're going to give them the technical foul shot and then jump it up.
Well, I guess there was... Oakley has not missed a free throw in the 2 games against the Pacers.
And still has it. That's his first try tonight. 13 points for Oakley, 7 of them here in the first 3.5 minutes of the third quarter.
They're calling no possession at the time of the technical.
Okay.
So therefore they have to jump it up.
I thought the Knicks were out of bounds, but apparently not.
I did too, but apparently they just called it no possession.
Nice play by Haywood Workman to keep the ball alive for Indiana. Reggie thought about the 3, spins into the lane. Ewing smacked him. Reggie did not get the call. Starts for 3. No, not this time. Over the board, out of bounds. And a turnover will give the ball back to Indiana.
Right now, the Pacers have to really maintain their poise. Reggie got drilled. He got drilled here, no question about it. See, he got banged.
My. It's either an offensive foul or a defensive foul. Make the call one way or the other.
So now the Pacers really have to keep their composure, Bates. I know it's frustrating, but you've got to continue to play.
Offensive foul, Reggie Miller. Boy, you can smell it when coming from a block away. And a technical foul on Reggie Miller.
Well, he punched the ball. He punched the ball back towards the official.
Well, we're on the borderline of losing our cool. Larry Brown is running in front of us here, yelling, "Cut it out! Cut it out! Cut it out!" Our fans have lost their cool likewise.
Yeah, they really have. Has to be determined on the floor. And the officials have, I think they're still doing a solid job. A couple of calls, but that's going to happen in any game. They're not always going to make the right call.
Some of the debris has come out. This is a little reminiscent of a game against Houston. earlier this year when I think I saw our fans as irate as I've ever seen them, but that's not going to help the ball club any, nor is the technical foul on Reggie going to help things either. We'll get a timeout. We'll come back and clean this mess up.
You know, a lot of people who work on their cars will only shop at AutoZone. They depend on us for the best quality parts and low prices every day. They come in, get what they need, and then get back to work. Because you see, they believe if you want the job done right, you do it yourself. Well, at AutoZone, we couldn't agree more. Because when you take the time and the effort to work on your car yourself, you ought to be choosy about where you shop. We just thank you for choosing AutoZone.
Dennis, you're just a little bit too tight, man. You need to loosen up. Oh, man. Be provocative. Don't be so conservative. Shake things up. Be shocking. Let your hair down.
Please, lay out the hair, okay?
Over the top, man. Be an individual. So what do you want me to do? Well, you can start by eating your pizza the wrong way. Crust first.
That's weird, man. That's too weird.
Introducing stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut. With a ring of cheese baked into a totally new, thinner crust, you'll want to eat it the wrong way. Crust first.
Just turn it around. Well, Dave, you crazy, man. You crazy.
Large, just $9.99.
Around here, family values have always been in style. That's why we drive a Ford Taurus. It comes with room for 6, standard dual airbags to help protect us, and a V6 engine and automatic transmission that make it easy to drive in all kinds of traffic. Plus, $1,000 cash back made it easy to stop and easy on our budget. Maybe that's why Taurus is America's best-selling car, and my Indiana Ford dealer's the one. Your Indiana Ford dealer's the one.
There you see the vitals. The Pacers have come unstitched here in the last minute or so. Reggie Miller leans in. That's a good call, folks. But take a look at the end of it. Reggie frustrated, punches the ball into the seats, and that's a technical. Hopefully with the timeout, cooler heads have prevailed. There you see Reggie nodding. But they have to continue to keep themselves calm now. Otherwise, you dig a hole that you can't get out of.
Well, Rep Porter, the PA man, making an announcement to the fans. And it is stupid to throw this stuff out there. I cannot defend that at all.
Exactly.
Hurt
what good is it doing? Put all players in jeopardy, the officials in jeopardy, and you never want to do anything like that.
Oakley did miss the technical foul shot. New York is taking advantage of the Pacer turnovers, Clark. 17 points off of 16 turnovers. So the Knicks have not lost their cool, and they've done... You're not going to get them out of their rhythm, it seems.
Not at all. They are a tough-minded group, and they were a volatile group a year or two ago, probably more so 2 years ago than last year, and they've even improved more in terms of poise and composure this season.
Well, New York's media is just terrible on everybody, but they were really on the Knicks. They were saying somewhere along the way one of the guys will do something stupid. I've seen nothing of that nature at all in the 3 games we've seen so far. Inside McKee had it blocked, got it back, puts it up, still can't hit it. Rebound and a foul. It'll be on Oakley.
See, that's how you combat good play from the opposition. Be tough and get to the glass. Good look here. Didn't go, and Dale Davis working hard. The fans don't like that foul, but that's just a good, hard, strong foul by Oakley.
Dale's first time at the line tonight. Dale Davis shooting 48% in the playoffs, but did have some success on Tuesday.
Night, yeah.
5 points now for Dale, and the other 4 came back in the first quarter.
Yeah, he was 5 of 6 on Tuesday night, Bake, from the line.
In the playoffs, Dale is averaging right at 9 points and 9 rebounds a game. That compares to his season numbers of 10.6 and 9.5. So they're not down all that much, but it just hasn't been that big a factor. 7.5 minutes to go in the third. This place is a wild place. Oakley. McKee with a good defensive job on him. In the corner, Charles Smith.
I like this strategy, though, by the Pacers to try to force the Knicks out of their rhythm with a little half-court trap.
There's your story, scoring-wise. Smith has hit 4 out of the 6 field goal attempts he has had in this ball game. The Knicks have shot the ball well here early on in the third quarter. Here is Davis. Bump. Missed the shot. Smith's got it. Out to Reggie. Fires the three. Missed the three. Rebound Indiana. Taken away. Harper's got it and double dribble. Just a lot of traffic in that area down there. That's the 9th turnover by New York.
Timeout, your Pacers. Ladies and gentlemen.
Indiana will get a timeout as you look at this again here. Now, this is Larry Brown on the PA. Larry Brown chastising the fans here at MSA. First time I've ever seen him do that. Boy, he is unhappy. Timeout. 6:51 to go here in the third.
You're watching the Indiana Pacers on TTV4.
What do you get when you fly the low-fare airline? Fun fares.
Well, you waited so long for a fare to get so nice and low now you really should fly.
Right up the night. Southwest Airlines' new fun fares is so low. Want to see that again? Now you can fly just for the fun of it.
Along with us, 'cause we got a lot of things to do now you really should fly. Have fun, flying Southwest on a fun fair today. Fun, flying on a fun fair.
Miller Light Ice, the taste that goes all out when you're out.
This is a lot better! Yeah! Much louder!
Miller Light Ice, the night is young.
It's the look in your eye, the sun in the sky, and everything you do. It's the magic you make, it's the way that it tastes, it's the way you move. Up and down the aisle, all the smiles. Life's gonna make you smile. Life's gonna make you smile. Life's gonna make you smile, smile, smile. Life's gonna make you smile.
New York Knicks lead by 9. That equals their biggest lead of the night. 60-51, third quarter with 6:51 to play. Here's your Discover Card calendar. You see the first two games. Saturday's game is 2:30. Now, originally it was set for noon, so if you're coming, make sure you go to the 2:30 game. Then Clark and I will be in New York next Wednesday. And if need be, back there on Friday at 7, back at Market Square Arena. Larry Brown really upset with the fans here tonight. Not with their enthusiasm, but their over-exuberance, perhaps. Dale Davis got it. Pacers in the quarter are now 3 of 10 for 30%. Knicks hitting 67% on 4 out of 6. Dale Davis' first field goal since the opening period. He has 8 points and he's 3 out of 5 from the field. In they go to Ewing, who lets it get away. Saved it, goes it across the top of the hoop to Reggie Miller. Turnover New York. McKee inside to Smith, knocked free out of bounds.
Pacers very much where they need to be. They just got to execute and make a couple of shots. They've gotten a couple of decent looks at it, Bate. Just haven't made them.
One of the game of the league tonight. Phoenix hosting Houston. Suns up 1-0 in that series, and that's it. We'll keep you current if any scores that game gets underway before we're out here tonight. Haywood, 4-3. Rebound Indiana. Smith.
Boy, he just outworked Ewing to the ball. Great move by Smith to fight the block out off.
5 rebounds for Rick Smith, who is averaging 9 per game in the 5 playoff games. The 3 against the Hawks. There's a foul on Reggie Miller, and that'll be 3 now on Reggie Miller.
Take a look at this work by Smith. Watch him work in the lower left corner of your screen. Did not allow Ewing to keep him blocked out. And then in one motion, right back to the goal.
2 team fouls against Indiana. Only 1 against the Knicks in the quarter with 5:40 to play. Third period.
Reggie's got to be careful. He's got 3, and he also has a technical, so can't allow his emotions to grab hold of him here.
Starks and Miller. Harper tossed a little forearm at Workman as he went by. A little howdy do. Ewing missing. Smith 40. And then throwing it away. 6 rebounds for Rick. Here is Charles Smith in the corner. Here's another 3 by Starks.
Well, you cannot outlet the ball to the middle of the court, Fake. Rick just made a terrible pass there. You do not want to outlet it to the middle. That's where all the traffic is and the congestion is. Howard dribble it.
And then Worry tricks it away, but somehow gets it back. Reggie will spot up and take the three, and then Smith got him going by, and that'll be 4 on Charles Smith. Buck, what bothers me a little bit about our ball club right now is I'm seeing mistakes that I haven't seen all year long.
Well, I think they're mistakes out of overzealous intensity. I mean, they're just so pumped up, some of the guys, and some of them are actually just a lack of concentration.
Yeah.
So it's a combination of the two, but whatever the mistakes are born out of, you've got to correct them. You can't afford to continue to make them.
Pacers couldn't even get it in bounds, so they take a 20-second timeout. You saw Anthony Mason coming back into the New York lineup. See the frustration on Reggie Miller's face. Indiana at halftime will be down by 4, 49-45. They have fallen behind by as many as 9 here in the third, and now are down by 8, 63-55. Well, our next playoff coverage here on TTV4 will be next Wednesday, Game 5 of the series. You can catch it all live from Madison Square Garden. That says, well, 7 o'clock right here on TTV4. That's Wednesday, Game 5 of this series. You do not want to go to New York down 3-1.
Well, we'll take them one as they come, obviously.
Got that right.
We got plenty of time in this one.
If you get it in his time to Smith, starts with 23 points and 6 assists. Rick inside.
Oh, he got bumped. Great take by Rick. He got bumped.
Ewing wants the foul call on somebody else, but I'm not sure how they can do that. That'll be 3 on Patrick.
Good take here. Faced him and then beat him. Ewing rode him all the way to the goal with the left hand and picked up foul number 3. We haven't mentioned it, I don't think, tonight, but Ewing not at 100%. That's been well chronicled.
Which makes you think, Clark, that if Rick wanted to, he could pull that move right there almost every time he touched the basketball.
Well, you have to have the other guys cleared out, and Rick needs to catch it at about 15 feet. You don't want him to have to bounce it more than twice to get to the hole.
Smith with 5 points in the quarter, had only 2 in the first half. As we mentioned, played only 8 minutes because of foul difficulty. Matt Riley, the winningest playoff coach ever in the NBA. 63-57, New York, 4:41, third quarter. Don Starks, a 2-man game. They hit full time and time again, and it works time and time again. Patrick Ewing's first field goal this half, first since the first quarter. He's 3 out of 8 from the floor. But they run that little pick and fade, and boom.
Ewing, because of his ability to shoot the jump shot and also because of his leg problems, expect him to just simply spot up for the Jets.
And we'll get a foul inside on Anthony Mason. That's number 1 on him. Like I recall the Cleveland series. New York ran that same pick and fade, and the Knicks, the Cavaliers never did figure it out.
Well, they set solid screens. They've got big, strong bodies, and they've got guards that can turn the corner for you. So it's a very effective set for them.
4th team fouled against the Knicks here in the third quarter with 4:05 to play. Pacer deficit at 65-57. Here's Antonio pulling up and missing it short. Rebound Reggie. He got hit, missed it. Rebound on the floor, picked up by New York. Kicked out of bounds right at us. And last touch by New York. Pacer basketball. Reggie's got to be really, really cool here, Clark.
Exactly.
You mentioned it.
Oh, yeah.
He got hammered there and obviously thought better of it.
Yeah, he can't afford to let loose with his tongue or his gestures.
Officials will give him a lot of rope, but there's only so much that they can allow him to have. Especially when he's already got 1 tee out there. They'll be a little more lenient perhaps, but here's Workman around Harper. He is fouled by Harper.
Good job there. Knicks over the limit now. Gets the step right here with the little strong reverse dribble, and there's the rake across the forearms by Harper.
Haywood Workman in the playoff series, 5 games, his best game was last Tuesday in New York when he scored 8. He's averaging right at 4 points and shooting a terrible 27% from the field in the playoff series, which includes the games against the Atlanta Hawks.
Well, in addition to those 8 points he had on Tuesday, he also had 4 steals.
And 4 assists.
So had his best game of this short series so far.
5 points for Haywood.
Pacers still with 2 fouls to give, although you would love to defend without fouling here the rest of the way in this quarter.
Miller out on Starks. And Starks got inside, then lost it. 8 seconds on the shot clock with 3:26 remaining in the third period. Indiana with Workman and Miller at guard. McKee, Smits, and Antonio along the front line. Here's Starks pulling up and firing and missing, and Reggie gets hit with the personal foul. And that is 4. Well, that's too bad because they'd run the shot clock down to about 2 seconds.
Yeah, Reggie just left his feet here. And that'll happen when a guy has burned you from the perimeter like Starks has. You don't want to give him a look.
Starks with 23, but only 3 here in the quarter. He's 8 out of 12 from the floor. 7 of 9 from the three-point area. And missed the free throw. He has 7 assists, a block, and a steal. Reggie will come out for the probably remaining 3:19 here in the third.
I'm sure.
Byron's got to win.
Boy, we'd love to see him knock down a jumper or two, babe.
Starks missed them both.
Love to see Byron get a good catch and look.
Well, he needs something to get him off the snide. He is really struggling. Workman trying to go to Rick, does, and they triple down on him, and Smith got the field goal anyway. 8 points in the quarter and 10 in the night for Rick Smith. And a timeout by New York, a 22nd timeout, as the Pacers have exploded on a 10-5 run. 2:55 remains, third quarter. Indiana's taken that 9-point lead. They've cut it down to 4.
Now eating at McDonald's gets you the biggest break ever.
I won! Yes!
It's the Monopoly game, only at McDonald's. With over 50 million prizes, it's supersized excitement.
I want a Dodge Viper!
Shopping sprees, cruises, Sega Game Gear with Sonic Triple Trouble. Get a gaming piece on these favorites like a medium soft drink. Win big instantly, or collect a Monopoly and win. So go directly to McDonald's and eat, play, win. $1 million!
Have you had your drink today?
YOLO, brother. You think carrying a gun makes you a big man? Wrong. It makes you a chump. Suppose you have no use for school either. Wrong again. You get through life with brains, not bullets. Do I even have to tell you about drugs? Okay, you and me one-on-one. Smart kid.
Crowd is standing in Market Square Arena. I mean, everybody here is standing. This is some sight to see. You probably can't tell it from that picture. And the Knicks lead at 9 has been cut down to 4, and Rick Smith has come to play here in the third quarter of this game.
Well, when he gets minutes, he's going to be effective. Ewing has 3 fouls and sore legs, so he can't deal with Smith as long as Rick is aggressive in looking to get to the basket and take his shot. Larry Brown, while we went away, actually as we were going away, imploring this crowd to get off their behinds and get into it. And boy, did they ever. As the Pacers have cut that lead from 9 to 4.
He chastised him earlier, and I think they kind of pulled back, and now he wants to find that happy medium in there. Rick Smith with 10 points and 7 rebounds. And Clark made a good point of saying that Byron Scott, who's going to be on the floor here when time resumes, has got to get things cranked on. So does Derek McKee. 65-61, New York. Game has been tied 3 times, and the last time it was tied at 33. And so the Knicks then took the lead, and they've been really troublesome to deal with since that point. Ewing in the corner, starts for 3. Not this time. And plenty of white shirts inside. Antonio Davis comes out with it. Only his second rebound, but a big one. Pacers about rebounded the Knicks in this quarter, 10-2. And another turnover. Here is Oakley on the breakaway. Workman hammers him. Foul on Haywood is number 2.
Good foul by Workman. And again, a turnover keeps the Pacers from an opportunity to cut it to less than 4, and then gives Oakley a chance at the line.
Oakley is 1 out of 2 from the free throw stripe tonight. On the long haul of the regular season, he played in only 50 games. He was prone to injuries this year and averaged 79%.
Well, he actually had a dislocated toe that had to be surgically repaired. He played a number of games trying to use new shoes and
tried everything.
He tried everything before he went under the knife. And it took him a while to get back to his style of play, but over the last month, well, the last 2 weeks actually, he's been the Oakley they've come to know and love in New York, throwing his body around, making the extra pass, knocking down spot-up jump shots.
He was the only member of the Knicks last year to play in all 82 games. In fact, he had 3 complete 48-minute games, 1 out of 17 players in the NBA to start all 82 games last year. Got them both.
He's got a great work ethic and a mindset to go with it. He is just a determined player out there on the court.
Knicks are now 9 out of 16 from the free throw line tonight. And they lead by 6, 67 to 61, and a foul.
Knicks got confused that time, didn't know whether they wanted to switch or not, and ended up with Mason dealing with Smits, and that won't work.
Second foul on Anthony Mason.
He's not really, excuse me, Bake, but Mason has not really been a factor. And you remember at the top, I talked about making sure that Pacers did a job containing him, and so far, so good.
First miss in the line tonight. Here comes Sam Mitchell back into the Pacer lineup, and Derek McKee will go out. McKee with 6 points. None here in the second half. 2 out of 11 from the field. Rick's got a nice third quarter going with 9 points, 11 on the night. Again, he played only 8 minutes in the first half because of some foul problems. Inside, Mason breaks free, gets the bucket, and draws the foul from Sam Mitchell. That's 3 on Sam. Mason gets the field goal, his first here in the second half.
Antonio trying to get in front. So you take a look, well, we can't see it there, but Tony went for the steal and put Sam in a tough position, and Sam not really able to get a clean foul on Mason. So he gets the hoop plus the foul.
See Harper coming out. Greg Anthony coming in. Anthony Mason tied for 19th in the NBA in rebounding this year. Not bad for a guy coming off the bench. Missed the free throw. That's that hesitation that the Pacers got called on 3 times or in New York the other night.
Yeah, twice on Mason, I think, and once on Ewing.
Ewing, yeah. 7-point New York lead. 1:40 to play in the third. Double on Smith. As soon as he got it, it was not free, and a foul is called. And the foul is on. Well, they put it on 45, and there isn't any 45 out there. No, now we change it to 33. Put it on Ewing. That'll be 4 on him.
I think they gave it to Charles Oakley. No, you're right.
No, they've announced Oakley, and the official said 33. Now, what is it?
It was Patrick Ewing, I think.
Yeah, it's got to be Ewing.
Yeah, it was Ewing. From that replay, it had to be him. Oakley wasn't close enough to foul.
That's the 4th foul on Ewing, and Smith gets it.
That could be trouble for the Knicks. Rick Smith has been able to go this quarter, Bake. I don't know, how many fouls does Rick have right now?
Smith has 2.
He stayed at 2. Good job by him. Let's hope he can get out of the quarter with only 2.
Ewing leaves the ball game, having shot only 3 out of 8 from the floor. He has 9 points. Smith, the only guy with more than 1 field goal. He has 3 of the 5 field goals Indiana has here in the third period. His 13 points, 11 in the quarter. 1:20 to play. They force a shot. They got it. Greg Anthony. Second field goal for Anthony, a 4th-year pro out of the University of Nevada in Las Vegas. And it's 71-64. The Knicks are hitting the shots they have to hit right now.
They really are. Well, I didn't think they could continue to shoot as well as they did in that first half, but they certainly have thus far.
Here's an illegal defense called against New York. That's the first of the night against either ball club, so it'll merely draw a warning. And they will reset the 24-second clock. Now, Ed T. Rush, you may have heard Larry say, "What's wrong?" I'm not sure either, Larry.
Trying to readjust the shot clock here.
It says 14. It should go to 24, said Clark. They just reset it. I don't know what the problem is. Oh, wait a minute. Clark, maybe they did not. Maybe they. What happened here? Did he wipe the call off, Clark? Here's Sam pulling up out front. And a foul on Indiana. I'll tell you the truth, I really don't know what that was all about.
Yeah, I was confused as to what happened there as well. Maybe it was an inadvertent whistle, possibly.
It's the only thing I could figure, because Ed T. Rush came over and started making some very strange motions to the scorer's bench to our left. Like maybe he realized it wasn't an illegal defense. That's the conversation going on with Ed and Larry right now. Here's Oakley again. He's 3 out of 4 from the free throw stripe in the quarter. And 4 out of 5.
Their best free thrower in the playoffs. Well, certainly in this series. And in the playoffs overall.
Shot 79% of the year. You pointed out the other night, kind of strange to see one of your power forward guys up there as your top free throw shooter. He got them both. And the Knicks just continue to hold off any surge of Indiana. They've gone back to their 9-point lead, which ties their biggest lead of the game.
They've been impressive in doing it.
And a foul on Starks. That's only 2 on John. The only person they've got in foul trouble, Clark, well, 2. Charles Smith and Patrick Ewing, each with 4. And Starks, as I mentioned, only picked up number 2. And Scott will be at the line. Byron's only 2 points have come from the free throw strike tonight. He'll get a couple here. Byron has yet to score in double figures in any of the 5 previous playoff games, and this one won't go. Scott with games of 6, 9, 8, 5, and then 2. And Dale Davis comes back into the Pacer lineup. Smith will get a rest. Wick had a nice third quarter with 3 buckets. And 5 out of 6 from the free throw line.
Yeah, Larry Brown not wanting to risk Rick picking up foul number 3. So he'll just try to tread water here and chip away at this 9-point deficit.
Byron Scott found some perspiration right at the free throw line and has kind of done some house cleaning of his own. Knicks on an 8-3 run. It's put them back in front by 9. The lead has not yet reached double digits for the Knicks in this ball game, but they've been knocking on the door more than once.
They certainly have, and they've been impressive in keeping the Pacers at bay. Pacers have yet to penetrate the comfort zone since the Knicks were able to get the lead to 9.
Starks off of the corner. Long rebound off the shot by Charles Oakley. 5 boards for Antonio, or for Dale. Shot clock is about 4 seconds ahead of the game clock, so Indiana's going to use as much of that as they can here in the third quarter. That's both the clocks there in the lower right, and the Pacers dropped the ball on the ground, and they got a timeout, I think.
Yeah, Larry doesn't like that.
Boy, Larry is turning red in the face, man. He is really unhappy with the play of this ball club right now. And they come off the floor, Clark, like a ball club that doesn't want to be here right now.
Well, I tell you what, Larry thinking that it was going to be a jump ball, and you waste the timeout when you got to fight the shot clock at 1 second anyway. Boy, tough situation there for Byron. You understand what he's trying to do. You just hope it doesn't come back to bite you at the end of the game.
Either 3 or 2 timeouts left. The scoreboard shows 3, and Jeff is telling me there's only 2. Either way, it becomes a factor toward the fourth quarter of this ball game. 5 and 8/10 seconds remain to be played in the third quarter. Indiana forced into taking a timeout. They got time to run a play, so maybe they can turn it into something here. Well, now we get the official word. There are 3 timeouts left for the Pacers. The Knicks have 4. New York, Clark, would like nothing better now than to steal this ball game because suddenly that home court advantage that they lost in game 1 is now negated.
Right. Home court that the Pacers have right now.
They haven't tossed in the towel yet, but I'm not real enthused about what I've seen out of this ball club.
No, you got to be a little nervous if you're a Pacer fan. The Knicks have been very solid throughout. The Pacers have made 1 or 2 charges, but have never been able to break through that veil of resistance. They've really got to do a job to keep this lead from getting to double digits, I think.
I agree. And if it gets double digits, then anything can happen. Well, there you go. 1 second left on the shot clock. That's lower left. Indiana can catch it and shoot, but they really got to hurry. Sam can't even get it in. They just lob it in. Here's the ball, not free, and a 24-second violation on Indiana. Another turnover. With
now they got to suck it up and defend here, and do so without fouling.
Now the Knicks have the advantage with a chance to get a shot away. Starks will get a spot up. He travels. Travel with 3.5 seconds to go. Well, he had a wide open look at it, too.
He sure did. He got too anxious.
So now Indiana will get it back with 3.5 seconds to go. And Reggie Miller will come into the Pacer lineup. Dale Davis will come out, and McKee will come in, and Antonio Davis will come out. Indiana's got 4 guys out there that can take the shot from long range. Sam with trouble getting it in. Got it into Haywood. Got to hurry down the left side. Fires off balance and missed it. And that's the end of 3 quarters. And after being down by 4 at halftime, Indiana made a run, but they'll go to the 4th quarter down by 8 points. It's New York 73 and the Pacers 65.
What do the really, really beautiful people drink when they get thirsty? The same thing as the rest of us. Image is nothing. Thirst is everything. Obey your thirst. Sprite.
Play the under the cap game, and you have a 1 in 6 chance of winning another Sprite. You can also win cool NBA stuff. Not too useful if you're thirsty. Handy if you plan on leaving the house.
A good physique is very important to me.
My job is basically all about resistance. Come on, pick it up.
Fortunately, that's something I didn't have to deal with when I purchased my new Saturn.
It was easy to buy, and it's a blast to drive.
2001, 2002, 2003.
Well, the Knicks lead 73-65 over the Pacers at the end of the 3rd quarter. I'm Christy Lee, courtside with a very special guest, Ari Lyondike. Ari, you and your teammate Scott Brayton, running for Team Menard, have been going real quick out of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but you're sharing the limelight here with another countryman, Rick Smith. What do you think of his play so far?
Well, I've been following Rick for a long time, and Rick has been out to the track, and I just came out here to watch him play because he's doing really well.
Well, congratulations and good luck for you on pole day.
Thank you very much.
Ari Lyondike, Jerry, back to you and fourth quarter.
I'll tell you what, we could use some of the speed that Ari Lyondike has found out at the Speedway, running 235 miles per hour. They rolled that baby right off the truck, and they have been red hot ever since with that Team Menard. In tonight's Miller Lite 4th quarter shootout, Russell Smock has picked Derek McKee to score the first Pacers basket in the 4th quarter. If he does, then Russell gets a shopping spree at the Pacers home court gift shop from the Pacers and Miller Lite. And it would be a welcome change because Derek hasn't scored since the first half, and he had 2 field goals. He has missed his last 6. So, Russell, there's your guy. Later on, we'll tell you how you can become a contestant in the Miller Lite 4th quarter shootout. McKee is on the floor, and that's Russell's man.
Well, Vic, I think you've got to make some headway in the next 3 to 5 minutes to get the Knicks out of their comfort zone.
19 turnovers for Indiana have turned into 22 points for the Knicks. Shot clock at 2. They fired the 3, and they got the 3. Oakley, 20 points now. First three of the game, had only 3 all season long, and the Knicks are up by 11. That's their biggest lead of the ball game. And a hand check foul called on Greg Anthony. Knicks have turned the ball over 11 times, and the Pacers have but 9 points to show for those 11 turnovers.
You wonder how long Larry Brown will go with Rick Smith not on the floor.
Foul inside. I think they get Mason. They will.
Not very long. Here comes the big fella.
Good call. Mason gets hit with the foul. Here it is again.
McKee just squaring up trying to take Mason. And then there's the push right there.
Smith is back into the lineup. Antonio Davis is out.
Yeah, I really think you've got to make it happen here in the next, like I said, 3 to 5 minutes, Bake. By about the 6 or 7 minute mark, if you aren't within 5 to 7 points, you're in big trouble if you're the Pacers.
AD leads the ball game with 8 points and 3 rebounds. And Smith, well, they're all over it when he gets it. He gets hammered from every direction. McKee. Russell, there's your guy. It turns into a 3. We got a winner. Russell Smart. Nice going, partner. Derek McKee. Oh, that is monster. That's Derek's first field goal in the second half and his first 3 of the game, and a whistle inside.
And it has to be buttressed by good, solid defense and rebounders. Starks and Dale Davis collided. And things getting a little hairy.
Dale will get the personal foul. 2 shots and the ball. 2 shots and the ball, a flagrant foul. We'll see if we can get a look at that again between free throws here by John Starks. My goodness. Check the left side of your screen for this.
Here you take a look. Starks right in the middle. Starks going to set a screen on Davis. Oh, yeah. That's a good call, folks. Starks missed them both. But that's the right call, babe. The fans get upset. The coaching staff does, too. But Dale actually lowered that shoulder a little bit.
And part of that, Clark, is the frustration factor that's set in with this ball club. I've never seen our club this frustrated. Bet at the Knicks.
Yep.
Starks is 0 for 4 from the free throw line tonight. Here's Anthony. Off in the corner, Oakley. Missed this one. Hits the top of the board. Loose ball picked up inside by Dale Davis. Kept alive by Rick Smith. That's 6 boards now for Double D.
Boy, that could have been a real dagger. Starks misses 2 free throws, and then the Knicks miss a shot. Pacers have to get a hoop here.
Smith playing in low, and a whistle and a foul. A hand checking from Herb Williams.
I say you go right at him. Go right back to it. That's 3 team fouls on the Knicks already. You got to continue to just milk the big fella.
I would wear him to a press.
Yes, sir. There's Herb, had both hands on him.
Reggie's coming in, and Byron's going out.
You know, the Pacers have yet to maximize any foul situations that potentially look good.
And here's another foul on Greg Anthony.
Yeah, that's their 4th now. See, you got to make this work for you, babe. We've mentioned it twice tonight, and it's never really gone to the point where it's worked for the Pacers.
4th team foul with 10:08 to go. So in less than 2 minutes, they have picked up those 4 fouls. But Clark, you talked about it, as you say, twice, now the 3rd time. And so far, it's been of no value. Yeah, exactly. Miller has come in now. He was inside, and another foul. This time they got Hubert Davis. Maybe the smartest 2 minutes we played in the playoffs here by just taking it right at him here.
Here you take a look. There's the hand. Boy, I tell you what, Hubert had the forearm. That's a tough one for Pat Riley to digest.
Reggie may have had a hold of him going by. Miller at the line for 2. His first one tonight.
Well, I tell you what, if the Pacers can just defend without fouling, Bake, and milk this situation for about 5 or 6 minutes, they could easily get themselves back into it. Let's see if they can defend without fouling for a while.
24 of 28 from the free throw line. New York's 11 of 21, and the free throws are major factors. Now the crowd, which have been taken out of the game, starting to get back into it again as the Knicks almost turn it over. Lead is at 6. And a foul. Larry Brown is doing a dance You would not believe he wants a double dribble.
Yeah, I thought he did too. Let's take a look.
Our director, Larry Migo's got it for us here. Let's see.
See, he loads. Okay, that's a fumble. That's a fumble. Okay, that's a fumble. And then he goes to the hole. See, he never had possession. On the replay, you can see that he had a fumble, so therefore he didn't double.
Timeout. 9:42 in the fourth.
Now, eating at McDonald's gets you the biggest break ever.
I won!
It's the Monopoly game, only at McDonald's. With over 50 million prizes, it's supersized excitement.
I won a Dodge Viper!
Shopping sprees, cruises, Sega Game Gear with Sonic Triple Trouble. Get a game piece on these favorites like a medium soft drink. Win big instantly, or collect a Monopoly and win. So go directly to McDonald's and eat, play, win. $1 million!
Have you had your break today?
Peerless Faucet didn't come up with the idea for a spout long and high enough to reach over and into large objects. We merely adapted it for the kitchen. High-rise faucet designs by Peerless. Get more out of your faucet than just water. Leave it to Peerless Faucet to create a shower so smart, it can not only sense when a toilet has been flushed, it can also adjust the water temperature accordingly. Scald Guard technology by Peerless. Get more out of your faucet than just water.
Why buy your mattress and bedroom furniture from today's Bedroom One? The answer's simple. We specialize only in bedrooms, so we do them better than all the rest.
It's National Better Sleep Month, the perfect time to get big savings on all beds. All bedroom groups, too. Plus, there's no payments for 6 months.
For savings on everything for your bedroom, there's one simple answer. Today's Bedroom One. Today's Bedroom One.
We're at just under 10 minutes to go in the game. Pacers down 6. There you see the numbers. Folks, you cannot dribble a fumbled ball. See, Oakley never really has possession of this ball. See, he's bobbling it, so without control, he can't dribble, okay? Everybody wanted a double dribble, but he never dribbled it the first time. Now here he just makes a strong move, never walked, and that's a good, solid play. Unfortunate for the Pacers, but it was the right call. You cannot dribble a ball that you don't control.
Oakley at the line. He's hit his last 4 and 5 out of 6. 20 points in the ball game. Knicks are now 12 of 22, just over 50% from the free throw line, and you just never know when you get down to the nitty-gritty how significant that free throw percentage might be. Indiana shooting 86% from the free throw stripe in this game, and the Knicks just will not give in.
Well, that's their name. They're resilient. That's their middle name.
I've got to believe at least part of that is Pat Riley.
Oh,
just
sure.
the attitude he brought with him.
Exactly.
8-point lead for New York. Seems like as hard as Indiana plays, they don't gain anything. Inside, Dale Davis misses a gimme. Loose ball picked up Jackson. He is fouled. Nice play by Mark Jackson. The foul is going to be on Hubert Davis. Boy, great reaction that time from Mark.
First to get in there and come up with the board, and then to have the presence of mind on the touch to get it to an open shooter who was Reggie Miller looking for a 3. But see, the thing you like about this, obviously, you get free throws, but the clock is stopped, baby.
Exactly.
And when you're on the bottom side of the scoreboard, you want to cut into that lead and save as much time as you can. So the Pacers, again, have a great opportunity here if they can just defend without fouling and be strong with the ball.
Mark has only taken 1 field goal attempt. Is that correct? And he misses one of the 2 free throws. His only point since the first quarter.
Well, he's had a tough game. Hasn't handled the ball that well.
6 turnovers. He does have 1 steal. And the Pacer deficit is 7, 78-71. This is a scoring level that the Knicks wanted. They were number 2 in the league defensively behind Cleveland, allowing only 95.1 per game. Nearly a steal by Jackson again. Ewing off balance, got it anyway. Patrick Ewing with his 11th point. His first field goal in the 4th. He's 4 out of 9.
They just continue to make tough shots.
Amazing.
That was a tough shot fighting the shot clock, babe.
Back to the 9-point lead. 8:45 remains in this ball game. Smith. Ewing got him. 5 on Patrick Ewing. Of course, Patrick, as always, is not buying that, and he is now doing a little statuesque act under the hoop. We'll see how long Pat will go with him up. He may want to even take him out right now.
See, there's a hand right there in the middle of his back. Oh, yeah, he only got called for one, but he committed
he
two or three.
You're right. Ewing with 13 points. Smith with 13 points and 7 rebounds, and misses the free throw. 4 out of 7 from the field, and now 5 out of 7 from the free throw line with no block shots. Smith will come in and replace Ewing. So we'll see how the Pacers may attack that defensive alignment. Rick on 1 out of 2. Ewing leads with 11 points and 3 rebounds.
Let's see who Smith is going to match up with. This can't be right. He can't be on Oakley. Oh, my.
They'll have to go up high to play Charles. McKee really getting into it with Smith down low. Here's Oakley from outside. Rebound taken down by McKee, and he is fouled from behind by Charles Smith.
That's 5 on him.
You got it. Boy, McKee was way in the sky for that rebound.
Yeah, he got up, almost mistimed the jump. Here you take a look, McKee. There's the push, but here he comes over the back after McKee had possession.
Pacers really have been dominant off the boards. I'm really amazed. Talking the last numbers I have with 32 to 16.
Well, the Knicks haven't missed a lot of shots.
That's a good point.
Part of it.
Yeah, you're right.
The Pacers have done a good job on their offensive board and decent on the defensive board when the Knicks have missed. And now McKee, coupled with Rick going 1 of 2. Pacers missed 2 of their last 3 free throws.
Look at this stat in the third quarter, Clark. This is the third quarter box we got. Indiana out-rebounded New York 12 to 2.
Yeah, 6 of those rebounds offensively. So the Pacers missing a large number of shots. The Knicks shot 8 of 13 in that quarter, so not a lot to be gained on their offensive board.
Updated numbers 34 to 17. So Indiana's double the number of rebounds, but they're still down big time to this New York Knicks ball club. 10 points now. Double dribble called against New York. Another turnover by New York. Not many on the night, but they're starting to become a little more frequent. That's only a dozen for New York versus the 19 for Indiana. But the good news there is Indiana's been on that number 19 for quite some time. 80 to 73 New York, 7:56 to play. Reggie Miller has 4 points in this half, only 1 field goal. Here's McKee, lost it. That's the first turnover in the fourth quarter for Indiana. And right now, every turnover becomes
just magnified.
Yeah, exactly. Hubert Davis over Smith. Smith got the rebound over McKee's head. Charles Smith with 12. And just like that, it's back to a 9-point lead. 24 New York points off of Pacer turnovers. Jackson. Rebound. New York.
Well, I think Larry Brown wanted a timeout.
Well, he is really upset with almost everything and everybody in this place right now. And a foul on Jackson. Timeout, Indiana. 6:57 to go. The Knicks come clear out on the floor from their bench. They think they got this thing wrapped up.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here to... Doesn't have to be.
And now the starting lineup. That groom from Texas, Billy Clyde Humphrey. And at Bride, a 5'6" debutante from Alabama, Nell Peterson. The Humphrey wedding brought to you by Miller Lite. When you've got the great taste of an ice cold Miller Lite, life is good. The vows are up.
I do.
And they're good. Whoa, Nelly.
That was beautiful, man.
Don't wait any longer. The hottest sale from America's hottest car company just got extended. The National Chrysler Plymouth Sale. Thousands of cars to clear. Special allocations. Get low 4.9% financing. The best trade-ins. Make your best deal and then get up to $1,500 cash back. So don't miss this. The National Chrysler Plymouth Sale. Only at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
When Harper gets caught in a game of cloak and dagger.
I have made a major scientific breakthrough.
Everybody wants a piece of the action.
It actually came with me from Pentagon Research.
What is it, a doomsday device?
Of course.
And they'll do anything to get their hands on it.
I think I can handle this.
The battle between good and evil has never been this strange.
Or at least seriously bent.
Jack Scalia is the point man.
Friday night at 9 on TTV4.
Well, deja vu all over again, as Shogi would say. A 9-point lead for New York. It seems like it's been there all night long. Check out the Pacers corner at all the Indianapolis, Kokomo, and Columbus Boston Chicken locations. You can win a Pacers authentically autographed basketball or tickets to each Pacers home playoff game. Register to win now. There is no purchase necessary. Pacers have watched the Knicks assist on 24 of their 30 field goals. Clark, that's an amazing stat.
That sure is. That's 80%. Boy, and a good ratio of assist to field goals is somewhere about 60%, 63, 64%. They're at 80 tonight. Points to good ball and player movement. And then shots being made.
Harper is back in. He and Davis running the ball club now, and we'll get a reach from behind foul on Haywood Workman. That'll be 3 on him. Double technical fouls on
Dale Davis and Derek Harper.
Okay. Double tees.
Double technical fouls.
The officials have been trying to really keep control of this game. It's been on the borderline of getting out of hand on a couple of occasions, but
yeah, they've done a good job from that standpoint.
Start throwing the tees around. That'll get your attention in a hurry. Pacers have not scored a field goal since the 10:54 mark. Here's a foul. The basket will not count. The foul is on Dale Davis. They have not scored since the 10:54 mark, so we're talking about 4 minutes here as far as the field goal is concerned.
And now the Pacers over the limit. So the foul advantage we harped on 3-4 minutes ago is now evened up.
And that field goal, by the way, was the only one the Pacers have this quarter. That was our fourth quarter contestants winning shot by Derek McKee. No other field goals in the fourth quarter.
You know, the Pacers only got 58 shots in the game on Tuesday, in large part because of the 35 turnovers, but also because of the tough D by the Knicks. They just don't give you many good looks, and this Pacers team not one that has many guys that can break you down off the dribble, so therefore you have to set screens and move the ball, and the Knicks just jump in your chest.
That's been a complaint of Larry Brown's all year long. Nobody can take anybody off the dribble. Back to an 11-point lead that equals the Pacers' biggest deficit of the game. Inside to Smith, got around Mason, got double team, had the shot blocked, but body contact and the foul is called. The foul's going to be on Mason. There'll be 4 on him.
We're going to be here for a while,
Yeah, we are. Well, that's okay. We can win.
Yeah, right. You got that right. There you go. Rick banged inside. Who'd they get on that? Mason?
Mason, yep. And that's the fourth one on Mason.
Well, see, the advantage you had a couple of minutes ago is that you weren't in the bonus. I mean, you hadn't committed 5 team fouls. The Pacers hadn't. But now it's pretty much even. And the one thing you like is you get points with the clock stopped. But now the Knicks, who have pretty good quick guards that can penetrate off the dribble, they too are shooting shots on, shooting free throws on common fouls.
16 points for Rick Smith. Follows up the 34 points he had in game 1 and the 10 that he had 2 nights back in New York at the Garden.
Let's see if the Pacers can just disrupt the rhythm here. Mason's so valuable as a guy, as big as he is, he can still handle the ball. They'll run their offense through him sometimes.
Well, they haven't disrupted the rhythm all night long. I don't know how they can start it now. Mason and Smith in a 2-man game to bring Harper into play with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Harper shoves off, then gets a wild shot that hits the bottom of the board, and a 24-second shot clock violation. Good defense by Indiana that time.
Yeah, I think they've really got to come out front and just make the Knicks do things they don't want to do. Get them out of this rhythm.
Halfway through the fourth period.
Good defense here. Woody bodying up, challenging. Riley was on the floor there.
20 turnovers for Indiana, 13 now for New York. Reggie not on the floor of this game at all offensively. Back outside to McKee, spots for 3. Couldn't get it. Rebound, foul from behind on Dale Davis. That's 5 on Dale. Davis with 8 points tonight and 6 rebounds.
Reggie makes a nice pass. McKee gets a good look at it. Just doesn't get to roll. And then Dale coming over the back. Well, I tell you what, didn't make a lot of contact as he went for the ball. And so often officials will anticipate that if you come from behind, you've committed a foul. I don't think Dale did there.
22 for Charles Oakley tonight.
He doesn't miss free throws, man.
He hit his first one, missed his second one, has now struck out 7 in a row. So Oakley, Clark, having his best offensive game of the 3-game series. He had 17 in game 1, 11 and 2, and now 23 tonight. And he has 5 rebounds, along with 4 assists. Charles Oakley out of Virginia Union, 10th year in the league. Finally misses one. And the Pacer deficit is 10 at 85-75. 5:42 to play.
Reggie just hasn't been able to shake free for a decent look.
Here's a wild shot by Reggie that doesn't even catch rim. And the Knicks come back again. Well, they got a chance to get their biggest lead of the ball game. That was Reggie's first field goal attempt in the 4th quarter. Here's Smith. Reggie with the board. Haywood. Great pass from McKee.
Great job by Woody to storm down the lane. Riley has allowed Starks to sit on the bench for a long time. He's coming back now.
He has been getting a lot of rest. He has been out since 1:36 to go in the 3rd quarter. So he has had almost a quarter's rest. Here's the foul on Workman. And that'll be number 4 on Haywood Workman tonight. Here's a look at Haywood at the other end of the floor offensively.
Storming down the lane, the Knicks scrambling. Smith has 5 fouls, doesn't want to commit the 6. There it is. Haywood Workman with the grab.
And Harper is at the free throw line for New York, averaging 16 points and shooting 57% during the playoffs all told. That includes those Cleveland games. One of 10 active players like Byron Scott to score over 10,000 points but never be chosen to play in an all-star game. Last year reached the 5,000 career assist mark, and this year passed 13,000 career points. He has 2 more there. 6 points in the game for Derek Harper. His only field goal was a 3 back in the 2nd quarter.
Smith not getting any touches. Reggie not getting any good looks.
Antonio knocked off balance and fouled by Oakley.
Good sweet position inside here. And then there's Oakley bodying up. See, he leans in. He's not going to block your shot. He's just going to body you up.
Antonio has not scored in the 2nd half. That's his first one. 9 points in the night for Antonio Davis. He is now 7 for 9 from the free throw line with 3 boards and a steal.
Pacers have just been unable to get consecutive scores, babe.
That's really Clark what's kept the Knicks lead as dominant as it was. We made runs, but you couldn't put any kind of a run together. Yeah.
Exactly. You need consecutive hoops and consecutive stops. And again, with the foul situation as it is,
here's Mason in heavy traffic. Rick fouled him. Starks gets the loose ball, misses the shot. Rebound comes off to Reggie Miller. That's 8 rebounds for Reg, and he is fouled by Starks.
Boy, Reggie very lucky there, Craig.
Yeah.
I don't know if that didn't look more like a foul than it actually was. Let's take a look. Reggie wanting to do something here in terms of making a play. Boy, he got him with the lower body, though.
That's a career-high rebounds in a playoff game for Reggie. He's lucky in 2 fronts, Clark. He's also lucky he didn't hurt himself the way he was spread-eagled out there. Reggie was at the halfway point of the game, 8 for 12 from the field, and his current numbers show him 9 of 16. So he's gone 1 for his last 4, and they have not been very pretty good looks at it. Well, they're 0 for 2 in the 3-point zone tonight.
Well, this is going to be one that's going to be grinded out. Whichever team gets it, they're going to grind it out. Reggie, obviously, if he can shake free for a couple of good looks, that'll help, but they need to defend.
6-point lead, 4 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. Good pressure by Indiana. Ewing with Smits on him. Oakley thought about it. Harper's got it now. Shot clock down to single digits. It's at 9. Harper, long range. Oakley out to Mason. Down to Harper. Missed the shot. Rebound taken off by Oakley. As Indiana's 3 interior defenders couldn't get their hands on the basketball. Now New York will set up and run that 24-second clock again. 3:35 to play. And a foul against Ewing. He is gone. Patrick Ewing fouls out of the game.
And Charles Smith has 5. So whoever is defending, whoever he defends, they maybe want to look at it. Take a look at Ewing. You know they want to run this.
Oh, good call. And he really nailed him with the hip.
Yep, got him with the knee.
Not a very smart play by Ewing because he knows they're going to, when you're that naked out that high, they're not going to let that go.
No, it's too obvious. So, yeah, he got him right with the right knee. Be aggressive. Whatever you do, be aggressive because you can possibly get to the line.
Here's Reggie trying to be aggressive on Starks. Got inside and got it. Patrick Ewing can only sit and watch now. Reggie with 24. And the Knicks want timeout. The Pacers are the closest they have been since there was 3:02 to go in the third quarter when they trailed by 4, 65-61. Now it's 87-83 with 3:12 to play in the fourth quarter and a rambunctious MSA.
I believe food has become food for thought. I discovered this at Boston Chicken. Their food is genuine, real. Nothing fried, nothing to hide. Like mashed potatoes made from scratch. And a delicious rotisserie chicken. It felt like Sunday at Grandma, but I didn't have to sit at the kids' table. This is not the feeling you get diving into a pizza.
Home-style meals in a flash from Boston Chicken.
This is different. This is progress.
They say that man cannot live on bread alone. Fortunately, at Discover Card, we couldn't agree more. That's why we offer the Cashback Bonus Award. Each year, you'll receive money back based on your annual level of purchases. The more you use your card, the more you'll get back. And with over $500 million given out already, you're sure to get your fill. It pays to Discover, the card that pays you back. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
There's something powerful coming your way. It's performance season from your Indiana Ford dealers. Your chance to get one of America's hottest performers, like the legendary Thunderbird, Sleek Probe GT, Sporty Taurus SE, or the powerful Mustang GT. It's performance season, and for America's hottest performers, your Indiana Ford dealers are one.
The Indiana Pacers Media Relations Director David Benner came by a few moments ago to tell us there are 16,675 on hand here at MSA tonight. A sellout crowd, and there'll be that many here again on Saturday. 2:30 is tip-off time. The Pacers and the Knicks in Game 4. If you've got a ticket, I hope you're right here because it's going to be one win of the game, win, lose, or draw. Here's the scoring run over the last 3.5 minutes. A 10-3 advantage, Indiana. Now the defense becomes a major factor for Indiana. Shot clock in single digits again. Smith might have got 5 with the block outside. Oakley missing an air ball. Whoa, man, he missed that thing 3 feet. Oakley is shooting the ball well tonight, too, but up till then, he was 7 of 12. Inside 3 minutes to go. McKeith had a horrible shooting night. Wouldn't it be something if he hit a couple of clutch buckets down the stretch? Here's Reggie. Fell to the ground. Got back up. Got it to Rick. Jump hook off the mark. Foul called. It'll be on Oakley. And if it is, that'll be 5. That's no. They're going to go to Mason. They put it on Mason. 5 on him.
Boy, Reggie again losing his balance. Hey, what a play, though, to get it up and get it to Smith. And there's the bump. Boy, it looked more like Oakley than Mason.
Yeah. And Reggie was really lucky not to get caught for the traveling violation as Rick hits the first one.
Pacers now have made 34 out of 41 from the strike break. We talk about the free throw game. The Knicks 18 of 29. So that's plus 16 in free throws made.
Pacers finished the year as Rick misses the second one, 9th in the league at 75% in free throw percentage. 87-84, 2:25 to play. Smith got inside, missed the shot. Rebound, front court. Haywood, Workman's got it. Indiana with numbers on the break, 3-on-2. Reggie missed the shot, and no foul. Loose ball in front of us here, and the ball is in our hands, and a foul called in backcourt against Indiana as Reggie missed a layup that he'll hit 99 times out of 99.
He was looking for contact here. Never got it, and then got too deep underneath, Bate. That's what happened there. Looking for contact and never got himself ready to shoot when he needed to. Got too far underneath the goal there. There's Dan Crawford doing a great job to make the call while falling down.
Mason's numbers on your screen. Big free throws, but then what is it right now? Look short.
He must board. In game one, the Pacers got hurt a couple of times as a missed free throw was rebounded by the Knicks.
Yeah, everybody kind of thought, well, he'll get it, but nobody got it. He got one out of the two. Mason with 9 points. This game he's not getting double figures, but there's still 2 minutes to play. Keeper right now. Oh, man, every possession is of vital importance. Reggie got inside, lost the ball, and it's kicked away. We got a foul call prior to it, and I believe they got Charles Oakley. And if they did, it'll be 5 on Oakley. It is on, no, it is not. It is on Smith. That'll be 6 on him. 12 points in the night for Charles Smith. And again, like some of the other games, he started off with 6 in the first quarter and then went slowly downhill offensively.
Boy, the officials have had a lot of fouls to call. There it is right there. Trying to get around the help on Reggie. He hooks Derek McKee.
Out of Pittsburgh, Smith finishes up with 12 points and 3 rebounds. Did 5 out of 9 from the field. Had 6 steals tonight. That's pretty impressive. He's played good defense. Big free throws here by Derek McKee, who was 3 out of 4 tonight. On the year, Derek shot 74%. He has 11 points, 12 points in the first game, 9 in the second. But he has really shot poorly tonight on the field. He has one of only 3 field goals for the Pacers in the fourth quarter clock, and yet they're back in the ball game with only 3 field goals. McKee gets caught with the foul.
Free throws, that's the key.
You're exactly right. Let me count them up here. 4, 5, 6, 10, 12, 18. They have hit 14 of 18 in the fourth quarter.
Got to keep you in it, and what it has done, it's allowed them to creep back with more than enough time to grab a hold of this one.
Mason with 2. First one's off the mark.
Only 68% in the playoffs.
64% of the regular season.
Again, you must rebound if, in fact, he misses.
Mason 3 of 6 from the line. Double dip. And the Pacers have it with a chance to tie. They're on a 13-4 run. The last tie was one of only 3 tonight at 33.
They're going to the big fella.
Workman. Terrible shot. My goodness. I have not a clue what that was supposed to be about.
Yeah, that's just poor execution.
That's awful.
You got the big fella who's got an advantage, and then you get that kind of shot up.
Put it in his hands and let him live or die for us. If they get a bucket now, the pressure's really on. 1:04 to play. Shot clock down at 3. And lost out of bounds. Pacer basketball. Good defense by all 5 guys that time. Reggie's yelling, come on, come on. He wants the ball up court in the midcourt. Half-court setup.
You want to make sure, well, you're in a good position to get 2 for 1 here. Got to get a good shot.
Reggie On starts. Gets inside. Reggie. No. Tipped up once. No. Loose ball last touch by New York. Pacer ball. They'll get a fresh 24, and Larry Brown wants timeout. Boy, this is a game Indiana could seal after being down by 11. 37-2 left. Don't you dare go away.
I've got one chance a season at a great lawn. You burn your lawn, your neighbor sees it. I burn this, millions see it. You want to take chances? Go ahead. Me, I use Scott's.
Turf Builder has Scott's mistake-proof granules. They feed when the grass needs it. No over or underfeeding like you can get with ordinary fertilizers.
It's not like baseball. You don't get 3 strikes. Don't blow it. Use Scott's.
Mistake-proof granules. That.
The RTA Home Theater with SRS Sound is now 50% brighter with a sharper, clearer picture. Better picture, better sound. Better get out of the way.
Pacer basketball, 37-2 left, down by 2. What a series this has been. Clark, I've been thinking about trying to lose a couple of pounds after I picked up a couple over the winter. This will pretty well take care of it, won't it?
That nervous energy will certainly jack up your metabolism.
Here's game 1, Clark, that remarkable 8 points for the Pacers in the last 19 seconds. Game number 2 was a horrible nightmare for Indiana as they lost it big time. And tonight it looked like they were going to get blown right out of here also as the Knicks took the lead by as many as 11. But now Indiana's got a chance to tie. And if you could get these guys into overtime, who knows what might happen.
Well, what you got to focus on now, you need a quick look. You don't want to put yourself in a position to where you'd like to be able to still have 2 for 1. As you take a look at timeouts, the Pacers with only 1.
Rip.
Yes! Beautiful. You got a chance for the 2 for 1 now, babe. They've got to take a shot within 24 seconds. There's a 10-second differential. Couldn't have been done any better.
Indiana's hit 15 of 19 this quarter.
Reggie Miller goes one-on-one with Don Marsh.
I know how much Indiana loves its basketball.
And I know how much Indiana loves its Pacers.
That's why we've always supported the Pacers.
Marsh is a great supermarket, so I'm glad to be teaming up with you to tell...
Excuse me, Mr. Marsh? I hate to interrupt, but may I please have your autograph?
Sure. Thank you.
I just love your commercials.
Marsh, gonna make you smile.
Come to think of it, Mr. Marsh, I love those commercials, too.
Well, the battery's good, and the starter's brand new, so I figure it's got to be the alternator, right? I go into the AutoZone, get a new one. Well, this guy says, well, let's check the old one first. No sense buying something you may not need. Well, turns out it's a voltage regulator. I tell you, I could have spent a lot of time swapping out parts till I got it right. But with AutoZone, piece of cake.
Jeep and Eagle dealer for the best in automotive sales, service, and value.
That's not a misread, folks. We're all tied up. The big fella, Rick Smith, on an inbound play. Watch the ball fake. He lifts Herb, and then it's nothing but a warm-up jumper. He knew it had eyes, and we're even from another angle. And watch the reaction. There it is. Now, New York with 2 timeouts left. The Pacers won.
Smith has hit 5 of 8 tonight. And New York has struggled from the field the last few possessions. This is the 4th tie. And the first one since the game was knotted at 33.
Well, you want to defend and not foul, then you have to get everybody to the glass. There's the Pacers scoring run. They've done it mostly from the foul line. But again, a 10-second difference between shot clock and game clock.
That brings to mind the question, will New York play 2 for 1?
I think they're just going to try to get a good
so too.
shot. If it happens early, fine, but I don't know if they'll go 2 for 1 here.
34 seconds to go, 24-second shot clock. They are pressed defensively, but they get it in. Here we go. Good step out by McKee. Oh, Oakley is wide open. They go inside to Mason. Here's Oakley. Oakley got around his man. Offensive foul! Terrific defense by Haywood Workman. And Oakley is with number 5.
Take a look at it. Oakley had a jump shot, didn't want it. He shot it so well. McKee, good pressure, and then Oakley just buries his head and tries to get to the bucket. But I think that comes from the air ball he shot on his last
Good
jumper.
point.
And
Great
late
point.
in the game, guys sometimes don't want to take the same shot that they've taken earlier.
Timeout situation. 1 for Indiana, 2 for New York. Now here's the story. Indiana can play for the final shot.
And what they should do.
Exactly. And if it doesn't happen, you go OT with these guys.
I want him to get a look, though.
How about Reggie curling off? He was hit by Starks down there. Here's your ball game, boys and girls. Reggie, ball 3. Oh, he missed it. We're going OT. Oh, he got a great look at it.
He sure did. I love that he took it, though. He took it and shot it like he meant it. It was right on line, just a touch strong.
What a monster shot that would have been. We're going overtime. Don't you wonder, Wade.
Hi. English? Oh, oh no.
Coca-Cola.
Yes, Coca-Cola. I'll have Coca-Cola, sir.
Sorry, this is a hardware store.
When you gotta get there this afternoon, Southwest has a flight that's leaving soon. Or if you like to fly by the light of the moon, Southwest has a flight that's leaving soon. You got places to go and people to see. Southwest has a flight that's leaving soon. Tune into that Southwest frequency, not just a low-fare airline. Catch your flight that's leaving soon. Southwest is the low-fare airline. Little word, big difference.
Miller Genuine Draft. The original cold filter beer. As smooth as they come, and as pure as it gets. Miller Genuine Draft. And those who've discovered its smooth draft taste, making the world a very cool place.
I certainly hope you didn't get too far away from the television set. We are locked at 88 going to OT, and everybody, every age, is still here. I don't think anybody left the arena. A few of them might like to make a little potty break. I don't think they've even bothered to do that. It's been one win of a basketball game. Charles Smith has fouled out with 12. Patrick Ewing has fouled out with 11 points for New York. Anthony Mason has 5 personal fouls, and Charles Oakley has 5. Well, the Pacers had a terrific opportunity to steal this baby with a great look from Reggie outside the three-point arc, Clark, and it just wouldn't go.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than this in terms of quality of shot. He stepped in and stepped back. Right on line, just a touch wrong. I don't believe in carryovers going into the overtime. It's a brand new game. It's much like games 1 and 2 have no bearing on this one. The regular session has no bearing on the overtime.
Well, the crowd you can just feel the air kind of going out of the place here as they settle back down. In overtime this year, Indiana's 3-1. New York 2-2. Way off the mark by McKee. Partially deflected. Somebody got it as he took the shot. Boy, if Derek had had a typical Derek night tonight, Clark, he might not be in this situation right now. Harper got around Workman, forced the shot in the corner, and hit it.
Well, I think based on where we were with about 5 minutes to go, you're glad that they're still playing and we're still working.
You're right. You are right. 4:14 to go in the 5-minute overtime session. 2-point lead for New York, 90-88. And a foul, blocking foul on Williams. And on Herb, that's number 4. So the Pacers with 4:05 to go will get it. Every possession is important. Here is Smits. They doubled on him and he threw it away. Knicks have a 3-on-2 break. Starks goes off in the corner to Mason. Back outside. Harper for 3. No good. Reggie's got the board. Mason reached in and smacked at it and came very, very close to picking up his 6th foul. 9 rebounds for Reggie Miller.
Well, you can't be tentative now. You got to be aggressive. You don't want to get yourself in a position where you're fighting the shot clock for shots.
Haywood, Workman, tie ball game. Woody with 9. Reggie's high. Rebounding career total, 9. Tie ball game at 90. Now you got to wonder if the Knicks shooting eye will cool down just a bit. Stark walked with it and got by with it, and McKee's got the missed shot. Stark shuffled his feet to come back behind the line. That's 6 points now for Derry.
Larry Brown wanting his team to run, realizing if you can get an easy basket in the OT, you're in good shape.
Oh, Dale Davis just threw it right into the hands of Harper.
See, they're too tentative, but
yeah.
There's no reason. Just play the game. It's just a condensed game.
Elbows are really getting tied out there. They don't want Dale handling the ball out that high anyway.
It's just a condensed game, and you still got to play. You got to make plays, and you got to take shots.
5th foul on Haywood.
You only get 14 fouls in the overtime before the bonus.
You have a tendency to jump on Dale there, Clark, but he shouldn't have the ball out that high. If he's got it out there, somebody go get it.
Move.
Yeah, but somebody go get it and take it away from him. 2:35 to play in overtime. Mason missed the shot. Smith knocked it free, and Reggie's got it. Great play by Rick. Boy, what a good... Oh, and Reggie lets it go right out of bounds.
Boy, we're too tentative, babe. I don't like it at all.
23 turnovers for Indiana. 16 for New York.
You got to play. You're thinking about it being overtime. Play the game.
Mason got posted inside and walked.
Can't pass it to yourself.
We're being critical of our guys. Their guys doing the same thing right now.
But they would rather do that. They want to try to slow it down, I think. That's to their advantage, especially without Ewing. It's to our advantage, Bake, to push it ahead and quick hit.
Yeah.
See, that's where we've got the advantage, and we've got to take advantage of that.
The Knicks are feeling the little hand around the neck, just like the Pacer players are. In fact, if you're not feeling it, you're in this arena now, you're not alive. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Derek McKee. That is the first Pacer lead since the 10-9 with 7:12 to go in the first quarter and ties the biggest lead at 2. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I can. And if they stay aggressive, they can win this game.
And what a monster game that would be to win. Herb Williams outside, nothing doing. 3 white shirts inside.
That's double-digit boards for Reggie Miller. I'd love to see Reggie come off a screen and knock down the 3.
Pacers on a 19-6 run. Jeff Yarborough's really been doing double duty tonight. Smith, yes! New York timeout. The Pacers were down by 11 with 6:43 to go in the game. 84-73, and they have their biggest lead of the game with 1:19 to play in overtime, 94-90.
Wait till you see what's going to make you smile at Mars. With our quality, selection, and freshness, no matter who you are, Mars is going to put a smile on your face.
Oh, well, I'm the kind of light that likes to bend around. You can point me left or right, or hang me upside down. But I'm not the kind of light you have to hang
totally flexible hands-free flashlight from Black & Decker.
Yeah, well, the snake lights from Black & Decker. We get around, 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 around.
No matter how big you are, there's always somebody bigger, badder, faster, maybe strapped. Walk away. See another day. Peace.
Since the Knicks led 84-73 at the 6:43 mark of the fourth, Indiana on a 21-6 win over the last 10.5 minutes.
And this is the basket that gave them their first lead since way back in the first quarter. And then Rick Smith pushes it to 4 in rhythm. The Dutchman with the jump hook. And watch the bench.
It's the 10th lead change of the ball game, and the first time Indiana led since 10-9, as Clark pointed out, and that was back with 7 minutes and 12 seconds to play in the first quarter. Pat Riley will make a change now. Hubert Davis comes into the lineup. Herb Williams comes out of the lineup. Byron Scott's going to come in for Indiana, and Rick Smith will come out of there.
Defensive matchups here. The Knicks looking to spread it out. Harper, Davis, and Starks can shoot the 3. They'll run pick and roll and try to free one of those 3 guys for a perimeter shot.
A minute 10 to play. Starks inside. Blocked by Dale Davis. Loose ball picked up. Haywood Workman. Reggie with the basketball. 52 seconds. That was the second block shot of the game for Dale. 7 seconds to shoot. You got to let it go. Here's Reggie. Yes!
Dale Davis, D-squared with the denial. Starks gets by Miller, but D-squared to the rack. Get it out of here. And then Reggie elevating. That's adrenaline and confidence right there, babe.
Time to... Daily 3 and Daily 4 games. Here's Barbara Hall.
Good evening, everyone. Let's play Daily 3, where you can win up to $500 for an exact match of tonight's winning number. The first digit in Daily 3 is 4. The second is 1, and the third is 7. That makes tonight's Daily 3 number 417. And now let's play Daily 4. An exact match of tonight's winning number could earn you up to $5,000. Our first digit is 4. The second is 2. Our third is 2. And the last digit is 2. That makes tonight's Daily 4 number 4222. During the week ending May 6th, Hoosier Lottery players won over $540,000 playing Powerball. Congratulations to all you lucky winners.
Well, just about the time, Clark Kellogg, you think you've seen everything, something else comes up and grabs you here.
Boy, I can't tell you how much I like this for a number of reasons. Reggie strong to the basket, knows he's going to be challenged, and then just gives you something extra there, babe. We haven't seen him do that all year long.
I know, man.
But now is the time to bring out all his stuff, and that was large. Still plenty of time, though.
26 points for Reggie. The Pacers have a foul together on a 23-6 run. New York took the lead in the overtime on the field goal by Derek Harper, and they have not scored since. So the Pacers have held him pretty much at bay for right at 4 minutes.
What you got to do here, you want to defend, challenge, no foul, although you've got one to give. You don't want to give it on a shot, and then you must board.
That's how much time is left in the game. 41.8. And as Clark points out, that's going to be an eternity in the NBA, and the Knicks have to take another timeout. They'll take the 20, because Indiana's defense just stifled them. just shut them flat down.
Well, the Pacers just decided to switch everything, Bake. There's no low post presence, really, with Ewing out of the game.
Yeah.
So what you do is you kind of zone it up and get to all the guys that are wanting to come to the ball and catch it and shoot.
Well, everybody, it's this coming Saturday's game, Game 4, Game C, or D ticket will receive a Pacers Terry Cloth playoff towel, courtesy of Mars Supermarket. Tickets for Saturday's game, say Game D. Game 2 is 2:30 p.m. at MSA. Mike Renatas came down by and said hello to us. That's Mike on the left of your screen with a tie. I don't know how he keeps it up there on him. Mike came by before the game, and I was congratulating him on his acquisition of the IU and the Purdue package this year and the football package. He's got to be loving this, Clark. This is sensational. Starks for three. No. Rebound. Reggie had it knocked away by Oakley. Pacer basketball. Starks was 7 for 9 at the half. He has now gone 1 for 7 since. Now there is a foul call. Oh, I see. No, I beg your pardon. Riley is calling for the foul at the other end of the court down
here. He's got to try to maximize the game here.
And Workman lost it, and the Knicks pick it up and score. That's Harper. Oh, my. That wasn't particularly smart. They got to get it inbounds. They still got to get a couple of possessions, and Harper fouls from behind.
They've got fouls to give.
Now, let's set the scenario here for you. Haywood Workman is a 74% free throw shooter. Let me check his playoff numbers. Haywood in the playoffs, Clark, shooting 75%. But it's the first. He will not go to the line. It's the first in the final 2 minutes, and only the fourth against the ball club. Now, Dale will come. Well, they started to put him back in. Now took him out of there. So the Pacers have to get it in, and they will to Reggie. And this is the guy you want to have basketball. It is New York basketball as went off Reggie's foot. Another turnover. Well, the Knicks they haven't given up the ghost, Park. I'll tell you that. They have played strong.
A lot of time. A lot of time.
Some mistakes on the Pacer part that I have not seen all season long this year. Call it playoff pressure, call it what you want. Everybody, when the regions are standing, Harper hit the three! 7 points in overtime for Harper. In fact, he has all 7.
Pacers don't have to shoot. They don't have to shoot.
And a foul. Foul is going to be on Starks.
Boy, they didn't have to shoot it.
That's the fourth now on Starks.
Now the best you can do is be up 3. Boy, he came right off of that pick, Bate, and buried it.
And the way the Knicks are shooting threes tonight, boy, you better make them both here. Haywood with 2 points in overtime. Missed it. Now the Knicks are very much in the ball game. Can you believe that? About the time you think you can start warming up the car, all of a sudden New York's got a chance. In fact, if he misses this, they got a great chance. They have 1 timeout left. He got him. And New York will utilize their final timeout. 18 and 1/10 second left in OT.
What do you get when you fly the low-fare airline? Fun fares.
Well, you waited so long for a fare to get so nice and low now you're really just fine.
Right up the night. Southwest Airlines' new fun fares are so low. Want to see that again? Now you can fly just for the fun of it.
Come along with us, 'cause we got a lot of things to do now you're really just fine. And have fun, flying Southwest on a fun fair today. Fun, flying on a fun fair.
Yeah. I give a pound to my man with my right hand because I keep the Sprite in the left hand. Okay. And then I push the button when I don't want to hear nothing. I let it go when I want to hear something. Yeah. This is how we flow when we in the studio. Freestyle with Sprite. Yo, how the rest go. First things first, a big yo thirst.
Play the Under the Cap game, and you have a 1 in 6 chance of winning another Sprite. You can also win cool NBA stuff. Not too useful if you're thirsty. Handy if you plan on leaving the house.
For hot grill out fun, we're the one. Come to our house for lunch today. Come to our house at Chris for great lunchtime taste. We're the place.
Come to our house for dinner tonight.
Come to our house at Chris At Eskridge, we use the finest cuts of meat. We never settle for second best. For great taste every time. For the taste you trust, come to us. For the taste you can trust every time. Come to our house, Eskridge.
Back at MSA with the Pacers up 97-95. Here's the Southwest Airlines just plain smart play of the game. It involves Derek McKee.
Gave the Pacers their first lead in over 3 quarters. A lead they still hold on to, but the grass is flipping. They were up 6 with 41.8 seconds to go, and now they only lead by 2.
Pacers have turned the ball over 5 times in overtime to only 1 for New York. That's the time left. Will the Knicks go for 3 or 2? Pacers lead by 2. Here's Harper for the tie. Missed the shot. McKee rebounds. Out of bounds. New York with 1.4 left. It's 97-95. Indiana in overtime. McKee went to get the ball.
1.9.
And now they're going to add 1.8 officially. 1.8. Shot clock has been turned off. They have no pressure on them except take a shot in 1.8. Where do you go, Clark?
Well, you don't want to throw it inside. Probably Starks or Harper.
They got to hurry. They get it inside the 3 to win the game. Is short. Pacers win. Reggie Miller has already joined us over here. Red slapped the headsets on. He just got a huge hug from LaSalle Thompson. Tank came over, and while he is injured, he is still very much a part of the team. Reggie, congratulations. Tell me about the victory.
Man, we're still not playing well, and that's the thing that concerns me. You know, it was a gritty effort. We came out with the right type of effort. You know, you got to give the New York Knicks a lot of credit. They played hard. It was a gut check for us. You know, we were down 7 or 8 with, I believe, 3 or 4 minutes left. And it was all about the defense. And then I knew once we got to overtime, psychologically, we'd have them. They'd be a little bit tight, but we got to play much better if we want to win this series.
Talk about your effort tonight in terms of your focus coming off a tough game Tuesday.
Well, I wasn't very aggressive Tuesday night. And, you know, I had to be, especially going to the hole, try to pick up some early fouls on John Stark to put some pressure on their defense. But
I tell you what, if you show me 2 more dunks like that sometime in another game in this series, well, I'll lose my voice.
The referees weren't giving us nothing, and the only way you were going to get some type of call is if you took it to the hole with authority. And I saw the big guys there, but these old ladies kind of spring up for me.
All right, what do you guys have to tighten up? Obviously, turnovers a problem. Thinking ahead to the
That's the big thing is turnovers. We made some dumb mistakes, especially down the stretch. We're up 6 points with 34 seconds left. I mean, we almost choked. You can't have that. You know, this is playoff basketball. You can't. It's stupid. We got to go over the film. We got to practice hard tomorrow and get ready for them on Saturday.
All right, Reg.
Thank you. Marvelous win, buddy. Thank you very much for coming by. Reggie Miller finished up the ball game with 26 points tonight. Thanks to David Benner for getting him over here to chat with us, because we're going to have to leave you shortly here. Final score in overtime. The Indiana Pacers 97 and the New York Knicks 95. You all right, partner?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. As soon as I get my heart out of my throat, I'll be great.
Final score was 97-95. Networks got the game on Saturday, and Clark and I will see you in New York next Wednesday night with game number 5. Rick Smith with a terrific ball game tonight also. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 21 points for Rick. And again, with Ewing fouling out, that was a major factor in tonight's ball game. Charles Oakley finished up with 23 points. And the series now is 2 games to 1.
I'm going to tell those guys, they cannot do that to us, man. They cannot do that to us and all these fans around the state. They've got to make it easier.
That's what Reggie said. We'll see what happens Saturday. Good to see you, partner. We'll see you again in New York next Wednesday for that 5th game. It ain't over till it's over. It may be.
Tonight's Pacers playoff game has been brought to you by Marsh Supermarkets. At Marsh, we're going to make you smile. By Sprite, obey your thirst. By Southwest Airlines, fly Southwest, the low-fare airline. By AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And by Miller Genuine Draft. Get out of the old, get into the cold.
Mamas and papas. fathers, sisters, brothers too. Day's a long time and short for all you gotta do. Day and night, it's always right, it's everything a meal should be. Everybody needs a